Yeah, 1, 2.
I think this is it, and
we're
he
live.
just did
He
it
lived
for
us.
us.
All
He
right,
did it
that's
for
fine.
us.
That was
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
it works.
That works even better, probably.
Intro. Before we forget, Help Us Podcast episode what?
8.
Episode 8.
Yocho.
Yeah. From left to right, on your perspective, we've got Justin, Mike, myself, Matt, Clint, and Alex. Which you probably can barely see.
But hopefully you can kind of see.
This broadcast also brought to you by Seth's Wallet. As he donated $30.
Already donated 30 before the stream.
Started the stream. What a guy! That is ridiculous, and I don't know why he did that.
Seth.
I mean, I know why he did that, but thank you.
Love your money.
Us.
We love cash.
As the title goes, we're just gonna jump right fucking into this topic, as we've all been sitting on it.
I mean, there's some stuff going on social media right now and in the music biz. I think let's talk about it. There's some stuff going on between the goat, and
Live?
No, I don't know if we're live.
I don't think we're live.
Are you sure that we're live?
I'm gonna go check.
No idea.
No idea. Okay. Because we're gonna have to
Start streaming. We'll have a
The
blue
top
bar
right,
around
does it say start streaming or stop?
Says we're live.
Says we're live.
Says we're live right here, buddy. Trolling me. All right.
That's my bad. We're good.
So there's something going on with the goat and a certain gunner. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. 2 single dads from the Midwest. Let's talk about it.
Okay. As a single dad from the Midwest,
That's fair.
I'm gonna go ahead and take lead on this. Now, before I go jumping on the team that I've been on since I was 9 years old and found out who the goat was.
It gives away your team.
Gives away team. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the
That's
other
fine.
guy didn't even have a team at the time because we're close to the same fucking age.
Yeah, he was exactly.
But
he was on your team that you're on.
Yeah, exactly.
And he says it. But go on. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, so like, I don't know. I grew up with a drug addicted mom. I know that struggle, and so like having any artist in mainstream media that you could look to and be like, okay, obviously I'm not the only one who went through this, and then seeing how many fans Eminem had, like, and then the song Stan,
Right,
something like that, like it just showed you that you weren't alone. Through him to hundreds of thousands of other people, so like bringing that to the surface, I don't care about any rap beef, anything beyond that. Like, there's not another rapper alive that did that for me personally, in that way. So, I mean, I'm probably always going to be on that team. The emotional support given through music on that level was so new to me. And it's really weird because the Midwest doesn't want white kids listening to rap as far as like the social like schema when I was growing up. All the adults in my life were like, Clint, what the fuck are you listening to? And I was like, you wouldn't understand. I'm an angry little kid. Yeah. So, that's where I went with that. But, I on my playlist today, I was listening to like a lot of MGK and a lot of Eminem at the same time. And I was like, it really saddens me that this is a beef in a way because like I love both these artists. I really do. Like, they both bring me great joy when their songs come on.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I kind of think it's a ruse. Like, I think after, like, this is a way for them to like clear the air.
No, really, yeah.
And so,
I can definitely see
like,
that.
maybe not right away, but after it's all said and done, it's like, all right, man, respect. Go on tour.
Well, because like in my head,
that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, definitely. But like in my head, like fantasy world for me would have been like, Eminem comes back and somehow in the track acknowledges and respects MGK in a way, and like, I don't know. I feel like this album that he dropped is really just a great way to stir up the pot. It's just a great way to like bring hip hop back to its roots of, we need a way to express the shit that isn't okay for everybody to say sometimes. We need to be able to break from the social stigma and the insane amount of censorship that we have. What really bothers me is like, I've read articles from XXL, from Esquire, from Hip Hop News, from like all these different branches, and like if you look at Google and you look up the album Kamikaze, the like rating is like 98% yesterday and 96% today. That's a lot of liking. And every article that's come across my newsfeed has been a negative review of Kamikaze and tried to compare it to Revive. Yeah, everything. Everything I've seen from Esquire, like they're all like, Eminem's just blaming everybody else. Eminem's blah, 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 blah. Like just the news articles, not personal reactions, because then the reaction videos you watch, everybody's incredibly impressed and blown away with this new album. And every song that you see, these people are like, holy shit! And they're not upset about it. They're not faking it either. You can't fake that funk. If they didn't like the song, you could tell. So I'm just really weirded out by the amount of like almost a like a.
I mean, it's like critics compared to.
Well, it almost looks like a smear campaign that politicians would run. Like
there is some actual like conspiracy of like on top of like the album itself and that like him calling out everybody. There are some conspiracy on it. Like he's calling out everybody to just because of like. One, Eminem hasn't been a part of, or like would say like, you know, the major rap game for the past while, which Revival, he brought pop stars and stuff into it and like got a lot of feedback like you were saying. And on top of that, it's like MGK and him had beef. And it's like the conspiracy there is like, when they really didn't really have any reason to have beef, like what better way to bring back like a fan base than to act like you have beef, come together eventually and be like, let's put this aside and let's get back into rap.
Yeah.
It's just WWE.
Like, that's just like building up the pressure, the hype like it is right now, and then jumping right into it.
Which, if they come back and Eminem drops a like diss track and then MGK and Eminem come together and then have a song where they feature each other.
Yeah, well, who doesn't want that? Exactly.
What if Eminem's diss track that came back at MGK featured MGK?
Right? That'd be crazy.
Some Logan Paul shit. Some Logan Paul shit, you know?
Is it bad if I didn't know who the fuck MGK was until the internet just started?
So many people said that.
I don't
many
listen
people
to rap.
said that.
No, I know.
listen to
Yours
old
makes
shit.
sense. Yours makes sense. I don't understand how people that actively listen to rap don't know who he is because he had a number one single.
What was that?
Well,
I probably
it was Bad
heard
Things. Like,
Obvious. He also and they said let you go or whatever.
he got a Nick Choice Award for that, a Kid's Choice Award. He went to Nickelodeon and played that song that's about having hardcore sex. And he showed up drunk. He went on LA. I'm pretty sure it's LA Leakers. He's like, I showed up to the Nickelodeon studios, and this is just me. I'm fucking on tour and shit. I'm fucking drunk. All right. So I show up and I fucking play the gig, and no one says shit. And I think that's the most punk rock thing I've ever done because I went to a kid's show drunk and sang a song about hardcore sex in front of all these people, and like they didn't give a shit or care to
It
like,
sounded good.
Yeah, it just sounded good. Like it's on the radio.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Now, this is the dude that's all
Don't
tatted
listen
up,
to the
right?
lyrics of our song.
Yes.
Yeah, listen to the beats, which Eminem talks about in his new album, how everybody's attached to beats rather than...
Well, if I'm allowed to quote this here, on Renegade, Jay-Z starts the whole song with, "Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it?"
Yeah.
Like, that's been an issue for a very long time, is people are like, oh, I like that beat. And like,
Just funny, you know what's funny and convenient about that is MGK, like, goes to Ronnie for a beat of court, like one of the people that are known for beats, and he goes to him and is like a big advertising. He's always big for like advertising his beats and stuff like that. So it's like an advertisement for him, like basically like, I helped him do this diss track.
Yeah.
And it's just like a beat that most people would recognize and like goes with anything, and it's just like here. And like the song itself sounds like a diss track 100% if you listen to the lyrics, but even if you don't listen to it, it sounds just like another song like that somebody would do.
well, yeah, definitely. I think one of the big things that MGK did correctly was he spoke clear and concisely. He didn't try to speed rap at all.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't try to prove anything in that essence because he knew that if he did, it would look pointless compared to Eminem. You just can't fight him in his own battleground that way. But he also, like, by doing that clarity, was able to be very quotable. Like, even the dumbest person I work with can quote, like, half of the things he says in that song.
Right. I don't know about his like. I don't know. You could definitely tell it's he sat and like wrote it down within a day and stuff like it because he sticks to like same points throughout like the whole.
Am I breaking glass?
Breaking Christmas lights. It's fine.
My bad.
Good.
But he sticks to a major like points in the whole song. Like he talks about his age twice in like separate parts. Talks about his age, and then the one thing that really kind of like gets me about, I don't know if he's like calling him out on this part or anything like that, but he says the whole like get your like mad rich or something. I forget what he says. Like talks about he's rich and he's still mad about it. Like that has nothing to do with like him still being mad, like being rich. Like even if like all these rappers are like rich or anything like that. Like they should never. Of course, they're in it for money. Nobody's not in it for money or anything like that. But Eminem, of all people, you should know, and you rap about it. It's kind of contradicting yourself. Like, yeah, he's mad at himself, but he's like, he still has like problems and stuff. And what does Rich have to be like? Why are you bringing the money part into it when it's Eminem of all things? Like,
the funniest part I find about the MGK diss track is the like Eminem comes at him saying, "If you're gonna come at me, you're gonna need your AK-47s and all that." MGK responds back with, "You have a weird beard."
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
Come on.
so, like
when you go into that, that's a lyric. Like it's referencing a lyric from an Eminem song that says that we're all gonna go. I forget the lyric now. It's like we're all gonna go in the mountains, grow beards, and grow old and grow
weird beards,
get weirds and
and that's what he's doing.
And so he's just saying like you are at that stage in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and he's just like saying he's quoting that, which I love though the fact because that's like the meme where it's like your beard's weird, and they're like, oh look how stupid it is. It's like you kind of look stupid yourself now because actually he's like just say like essentially clearly he's an Eminem fan because he fucking quotes so many songs. Oh yeah, no, he never says he's not, but I'm just saying like he's like he's doing all these quotes like all right now that was the one already at the very beginning that's like that could be cutting. Like he's drawing the line to see like how big of an Eminem fan you are listening to it, to where you're just like, wow, that's fucking
weird.
It's like, oh, your beard's weird. It's like, yeah, that sounds fucking. It sounds stupid. It sounds stupid because you're just like your beard's weird, which it is.
Like,
it is
a weird line to have.
It is a weird line.
I don't think you should. I don't think song. I don't know if Clippers fucking beard is weird.
I don't know if I would have started with it.
Like, just
I don't think I would have started with it.
I wouldn't have let in with that. And second of all, like it. Okay, the one of the lines that really bothered me because it just showed that MGK didn't listen to the album before he made the diss track was you fucking dweeb, all you do is stay inside and read the dictionary.
Right.
He says in fall, it's like I got an Oxford dictionary in my pocket.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you got to study the man before you go with your retort, otherwise you're going to make yourself look like an ass because he has like a preemptive, you buried yourself a little with that line.
Right.
And second of all, why would you diss somebody for having the discipline to stay inside and work on their craft when everybody who's in the rap game that's near my age or younger than me definitely needs to be doing that?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I think that just comes down to the fact of it being a diss track.
Yeah,
and you're just, like, beef. Because like even when it's all said and done, like even now, Eminem's still, or not Eminem. MGK's still an Eminem fan. Like, he's just, this is his chance. He gets to, like, directly communicate with his fucking idol growing up. And whether it's, like, beef or whatever, but it's like you're interacting with him in a very personal level now.
Well, and that's another point I was going to bring up is he consistently says, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
That's part of the hook. And it's like, he doesn't say, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to come at you and put you in a body bag.
He's definitely just wanting to make a mutual...
Right, yeah. Like he does, it's like, we'll put some white chalk around it. That's kind of cool.
I'm not trying to diss you, but this is how I'm going to get my point across to you. Because
right, exactly. It leaves it open enough, like, I don't know. I'm still scared for him in a way. Just because it's like...
Career-wise?
No, they're not career-wise. I'm still scared. Like, if Eminem, like, legitly comes at him with a response, and it's taken him this long to do it, he put work into it.
Right.
Problem is, man, that's not the game we're running right now in this back and forth battle. He is taking too long.
Style-wise, like,
you
fan base
can't
and all
come back
that.
to somebody's joke that you can't. If somebody roasts you in exactly, and that's too long. No, because see, that's different for an album.
That's how you like.
But when it comes to this, it's like. You got this is a very like this is like trading blows kind of thing.
That works in the G-Eazy MGK thing because G-Eazy went back and just had to make the one track to the one disc.
Yeah.
But Eminem just did a rollout on a surprise album. He's got a lot of fucking PR. He's probably running around like a chicken with his head cut off to handle, and he's also trying to compose that album in his studio in the other little bit of spare time he probably has. Like, and if you're Eminem and you said it yourself in your album, I'm watching my fan base shrink to thirds. Like, you're doing a lot of work right now. Whether or not the public sees it physically.
This would give you more fan base.
I think, for sure.
Right, definitely.
The way that he came out at everybody, and even, I fucking forget which song it is, but he's just saying, I was like, I just want one of you guys to take the bait. You know, like, but it's like, this is legit. Like, even right there, he's almost just telling you his business plan. Like, all right. Like I've watched my
do
fan
this.
base go down. Like anybody who wants it, I'm just gonna talk shit on all of you. Or just in general talk shit on everybody, and then whoever the fuck steps up, like the more people that step up, you'd be able to then see like who's gonna give me the best results, kind of thing. Like, all right, well, this guy's not that big, so fuck him. I don't give a shit about his fan base. This guy's kind of big. I'm maybe him, and you would just go like that.
You go for the mumble rappers.
To be
That's
fair,
why you go for him so hard.
That's true.
Okay.
But that's a whole new fan base that probably doesn't really listen to Eminem. Like all new
Their
faces.
fault.
That is their.
That is definitely their fault.
Yeah.
If anybody else here saw the Tekashi attempt at a
was so
reply,
funny.
He's so troll.
Yeah, I don't even know if
take
it's
that as him
real.
being. He's smiling during it, knowing that he's fucking failing. The dude is a mad fucking troll of the internet and everything. He's a businessman who gets what people want to see at the moment, and he 100% that is a character. He is the Dr. Disrespect of fucking rap, and I will 100% believe that. Of rap, yeah.
Yeah, don't put him in rap. Put the mumble before it.
Yeah.
Preface that shit.
Yeah.
And then second of all, let me finish. Second of all, I would believe that more if I knew more about him. I'll be honest. Everything I've ever seen of him doesn't inspire me to want to know more about him.
Which that shouldn't. Not missing out much there, I feel.
I'm not. And like everything anybody's ever brought to my attention has not been worth researching any farther. But I haven't seen him do anything that indicates intelligence. And for him to be a correct troll, you have to be somebody who sees the bigger picture enough to know that the part you play is just part of it. And I don't think he has that circumspection.
For sure. I think he's like the difference between, I imagine him getting famous, right? And he goes, all right, I'm just going to do all the shit that people don't, like you're not supposed to do this or whatever. And it's like the getting convicted, child molester or whatever, or, whatever it was. You don't do that as a normal person. That's a terrible thing. And I don't know if it's in his mind that he's like this or not, compared to Eminem when he's growing up or when he's blowing up. Like he's the villain. And there's a difference between being a villain. Like if you don't know how to play the villain and you're just doing all this shit that's wrong that no one else is doing, and then you just become this troll, like no one actually likes. It's like Eminem made a whole bunch of people like him, even though he was the villain, because he's very much like.
Well, he was
I'll
a
be the
relatable villain.
Yeah, he was a relatable villain, and he was like fuck you, fuck everybody,
That's what white America's about. It's about all the adult parents that are like, oh, you can't have this album, you can't say cuss words on the radio because we're gonna get upset. And then he's like, all your kids love it though, because that's what they feel.
Right.
They want someone that cusses. That way they can cuss and not feel oppressed by it.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the things growing up that spoke to me as a kid. Like, God, I just want to say ass.
Hi kids, do you like violence? I absolutely fucking do.
Fuck yes.
You want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids? If you would, please. Because we didn't have Johnny Knoxville yet, you spoiled little shits.
Yeah, true.
But
God, when we got him. No.
Oh God.
So not to jump topics. It's still the same topic, honestly. Did anybody else watch Joe Budden on his podcast?
Which one?
Watch
I
the
haven't.
podcast.
I haven't got
You
to
guys
do it.
seen anything about what has been said? Okay, basically, I watched.
I'm in retirement. I'm not coming out.
Okay,
Basically
it gets way worse than that. It made me so fucking mad. Okay, so as a cage fighter, if a fighter comes out and he's in the same weight class as John Jones. At the time John Jones is in his prime, and all he does is sit around and Chael Sonnen and John Jones, and the UFC's like, hey, we'll give you 13 contracts to fight this guy. You can fight him anytime, anywhere, any time of day. Nobody's stopping you from fighting him. And all he does is talk about how much he would beat his ass and how he's been a better fighter than him for the last decade.
Yeah.
You're trash if you don't fight him.
Right, you have to bag it up.
And Joe Budden has been doing nothing but sitting on his podcast talking mad shit about how he's been a better rapper than Eminem for a decade, and that Eminem didn't give him the visibility he thought he would get by signing with Shady Records under Slaughterhouse, and that's the reason that Slaughterhouse broke up. When Royce the 5'9" came out over a month ago in an interview saying that Joe Budden and his attitude is the reason that Slaughterhouse was not successful.
Drops mic, walks away.
So,
drops the mic, walks away. Don't drop that one, please.
Joe Budden's a punk bitch. And it sucks to say that because I watched his podcast for a long time and enjoyed his antics. And it's like, Joe Budden's admitted multiple times, yeah, I'm phony. And
That's what
you
we're talking
know,
about before.
For those
he
who don't know who
flip
Joe
flops
Budden
on
is.
so many subjects. Pump it up, pump. Yeah, that's Joe Budden, and that's the only thing you've ever heard of him. And you know why? Because he's not better than Eminem, and has never been, last decade or not.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
Pump It Up was hot. Okay,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bad. My bad.
Alright,
Hi,
so
my name
when
is,
it
which is
started, Charlie's
garbage
Angels
compared to
was
Pump
that?
It
Yeah,
Up.
come on, Jesus.
It wasn't Fast and the Furious, wasn't it?
Too Fast, Too Furious. It was, I think, at the very beginning when they were driving
walking by and
lifted
everything.
Dodge trucks
Yeah,
with
yeah.
hydraulic systems
everything.
installed. For what reason? Florida. Stop it.
Florida.
Incredible movie, Fast and the Furious, right there. Everything's real. 17 gear shifts.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Too Fast and Furious is the one where they have the ejection seats at the end, right? It's like, it's like, I mean, sure, I want one now, but like, it's not real. Like,
If Tyrese Gibson is supposed to be your tough guy for your movie doesn't
turns
need
into
to
the
exist.
bitch. Definitely turns into
Yeah,
the bitch.
I mean,
by
Did
the
Did you see
end
any of the
the
shit about
series.
him arguing with The Rock on Twitter?
Yeah, a lot of it,
because
yeah.
he didn't want want
Yeah.
there to be a spinoff show and everything like that to be disrespectful. But everybody else was in,
But
and
everyone
Tyler's
else
just like,
wanted to do it,
no,
yeah.
I'm not doing that to Paul. Do you see that Paul? This fucking segues.
The Fast Family.
Segues. But did you see that Paul Walker's brother has recently came out and said that he wants to like keep going and be Paul in the movies and just
That's
do what
weird.
they did with the
That's
last one.
weird, right?
No, that's
Yeah, that's
like
No, that's
is
where it's
that-
like, hey, I just want to like be my like. I understand. It's like, yeah, I understand the like the series and like for the fans or whatever. But to be like, you can just be like, hey, what if you wrote me into the script and be like,
yeah.
No, he wants to be Paul Walker.
Can I
Yeah.
that's
replace?
the weird thing about
Yeah.
it. Like,
Can I
just want to
replace
be
his
a,
character?
wants
Not
money.
like, can I be his character?
Let me wear
Bill
his
He wants
Cosby's
to be-
brother
he
coming
wants
out like,
to
oh,
be-
I'll take over
That's
the
fair.
Jello.
He does
You know,
want money,
fucking dumb.
but I'm sure how emotional Vin Diesel gets with like Paul Walker and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
He got a
like,
tattoo of him.
I'm like one. I'm sure he was friends with his brother
I don't know what
anyway,
to do.
or he would be, you know. But he's not like you can't be his character. Like that's gone. That was him. We can make you a character and be like, oh, I'm his twin brother.
You imagine if
Or,
they don't
you know,
even
like-
look similar? Like
They look similar. Have you
do?
seen them?
No, I
They look
haven't.
pretty similar. They,
Oh,
they
yeah,
look,
yeah,
they look
they're pretty
very,
similar.
very
If you could
decently
pull
similar.
off
Like if you
it
saw the
well
back of
enough-
if you saw the back of Paul Walker and saw the back of his brother, I don't know
If you
his
saw the
name.
back of his head and the back of his head,
Same.
face back, same face. Yeah.
I'm done with this.
Right,
So I think we all agree that Joe Budden is a punk bitch.
Yeah, that's
for
not
not
even-
stepping
back on
up and
topic.
making a response track.
That's
And I'm not gonna 100% defend Eminem on the timeline here because, like, I think all of his fans expected a response at this point, and by putting out the diss track, MGK put all of the huge Eminem fans in a spot
sure.
because we're like,
That's
we
the
all
thing.
went to the edge of our seat, and now we don't have a whole
Yeah.
lot of ass left to sit on, and
Yeah, yeah,
Eminem's
yeah.
still like leaving us in the fucking wind.
Like, oh, fuck you. Yeah, like,
Bro, my neck's out here, and this guillotine is sharp.
dude, I mean, that's it, though. That's it right now. That's what I'm saying. He has to do this within it.
Little do we know he's
Like,
dropped a
tomorrow.
diss track since we
Like,
started
if
the
he
stream.
dropped
Yeah.
it right now, that's about it. Like, honestly, tomorrow I think is the cutoff day for me where I'm like, all right, it's too late.
Nah, it'll be tonight. If
it's
anything,
tonight-
it'll be midnight.
An hour. We'll still probably be live doing this.
Can
If we
quality
could fix the internet, it would be great.
Quality's good.
Well,
And
no.
It can be definitely a good song either way.
well, like, okay,
Rap about like what do you put against MGK besides like how little he is like underground?
okay.
Right.
Well, first of all, none of us are gonna have the kind of links into knowledge in the
Of,
rap
like,
industry
right,
that Eminem's
right,
going
right,
to.
right.
Like that motherfucker's
That's why
gonna
I think we
know.
like diss it, so it
maybe-
brings us closer to like the inside, like the
he
behind the
comes out-
scenes.
Yeah. But maybe he comes out and he actually says, like, yeah, I did blackball you. And it's like, oh, shit.
Oh.
Like, he just admitted to it. He's like, yeah, because I can I
Well,
don't know.
and here's the thing that people don't like to bring up. When MGK said that Haley was hot, he was 21 and she was 16.
Yeah,
that's
we
weird.
saw that.
And so, like, there's a whole lot of possible pedophile rhyming coming into that fucking
that's
thing.
true.
And
That's-
that's
yeah.
dirty. And that's
That is pretty
dangerous. And if I'm MGK and I knew those numbers beforehand, I don't drop the diss track.
He doesn't
Nah,
look
you do
16.
it
We can
anyway,
be
man.
fair.
This
No,
is-
no. That's not how that works.
I
Like,
know, I'm joking. I'm throwing arguments out here.
Justin's going to prison next week.
yeah.
but like,
She's good now. She's good and still hot.
I mean, I'll give it to this. Parents definitely need to monitor the way their kids dress.
Haley,
That's for
help
sure.
us.
But
Be
I'm not
together.
going to say Eminem's not dressing his kid correctly. You know what I
right.
mean? And like at 16, you can only put the clothes on them that they have when they leave the house, and then they get to school and strip off half their clothes,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, fuck, I didn't realize your outfit
Imagine
went
like
in the
culture that
backpack
she
when
grew
you
up in
walked
though,
into
like
school.
just her culture growing up with like everything like that,
Uncle
and then
Dre
like
coming over to the
yeah,
house. and
just all
hanging
that
out.
kind of culture. Like your daughter isn't gonna be like oblivious to like the things that are gonna make her stand out. I'm sorry, no matter what like happens, like when you like look at any kid, fucking Beyonce's kid, like the baby reveal and all that was like probably one of the biggest like ever because it was Beyonce's child. And then Kanye and Kim Kardashian, it's like same thing, mostly because like they're so close. That whole family like thing, they're like come over
big
all the time. So
celebrities.
yeah. Well,
Like maybe I'm just out of touch with pop culture, but who honestly gives a fuck? Like you had a kid. Everyone,
Yeah,
a kid
yeah.
was just
that's what I'm
born
saying.
right now.
That's what I'm getting. Yeah, that's
No,
what
I
I'm
mean
getting.
like people that go buy the magazines and we're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's
Yeah,
so
people
good.
still do that shit.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna
They
put
need
this up.
distractions from their life.
Toilets,
They like to
toilet,
look at.
go outside,
They like to look
but
at
everything you
people
can
that
see,
are
you
better
can get
off
on your
than them.
phone and see like that shit. Like what? How are magazines still
Okay,
a thing?
yeah, you can get on your phone and see that shit. Like, I'm not gonna click on those articles. That's not
Yeah. I
clickbait.
can read those
It's gonna catch
magazines.
me. I'm not gonna give a fuck. I don't
Right.
watch E-News in the evenings.
You can't cut out somebody's face from it online and put it on your person picture
On a magazine
with your arm around somebody, and then you put their face. That's got to be the only reason why I buy the magazine, right? Because you're like, oh, me and Kim K.
Oh, yeah.
And like just
Easier to
it's her-
Photoshop.
Dude, it's
the
so
old school
depressing.
Photoshop.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
Well, these people can't afford photos.
Posts like that.
But no,
on
these
their
are the people that are
No,
getting
I
in.
mean,
But
like-
the people
like, a
magazines are like the
portrait in
people
your
getting
house,
in
like, over
backyards of
your
people's
fucking-
like
You're
houses and taking
fireplace.
You're
confidential
referring to like
like
shit you see
being
on like
the
cringe.
Yeah, exactly.
being the paparazzi.
My
That
strange addiction.
That falls
Really,
in like the
I'm
My
just
Little
saying shit
Pony
that I'm not.
category.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't mean any of this because I
My Little
don't know
Pony's
who
good
the
stuff.
fuck buys magazines
We're
anymore.
talking over each other a lot right now.
Yeah, we are.
We were doing good till now.
yeah.
Yeah, I started
We were-
talking. That's my bad.
If we're talking over each other, kind of quiet, it probably works out alright. Or actually talking.
Fuck you talking.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
Bad.
thing: is like if I'm the listener and I'm talking and you're talking and he's talking and we're all talking softly.
focus on
I'm
someone.
listening to 3 different motors run and I'm trying to figure out which one's a Ferrari, which one's a Corvette, and which one's a Ford.
Ooh, can I be the Corvette?
Right.
Justin's the Ford. I
Oh,
don't care
yeah, I
what
fucking knew it. I literally didn't even have to say anything. I just already knew where that was going. I'm like, I'm the fourth in the situation.
Dwarf.
I'm not even gonna fucking say
You
anything.
can't be the Ford because you own a Dodge. So
No.
I'll just
What
make
do you
you
do
the
in an
Dodge.
internet situation where it's just trash and you can't fix it? Just gotta sit with it.
What do you mean?
Politics.
No, I'm
Internet
saying like the
situation.
internet. Like it's like you call them, it's just you can't do anything. Like, do you up your speed? Upping your speed doesn't do anything, does it?
Oh, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we forgot to do the play thing. Sure.
Wow.
Turn all the lights off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I promise you,
This area.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on.
That's why they're not out.
Buddy. Let's just go fucking blow that fucking
So
thing
before-
up real quick.
That's pretty good. Really quick before let's just wrap this one up. Who you siding with? We already know, but let's just get it out there.
Go.
The gunner,
I'm the
I'm
gunner.
gonna give you
half and half, and then Matt's,
I'm
Matt's
gonna-
our decider, and he's undetermined.
be
He
the
doesn't care.
asshole.
No, I mean I'll go with Eminem just off merit because
That's fair, 'cause you know
I know
Eminem.
who Eminem
You
is.
know who
I have
Eminem is,
no
yeah.
like who the fuck names himself an acronym?
A lot of people now,
Really? That's a rap thing.
but he
Well, MGK, like
An F.
I don't know, Machine Gun
Mugaka.
Kelly was
Criminal rapper, gangster.
a famous.
Oh, so he goes by Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
that's his
Okay.
full name.
that's like
Okay,
well, that's
so
actually
he's
like
not
the
an
band
acronym.
name. That's not even
Yeah.
like
He goes by the gunner. He
yeah.
goes by-
What's weird? Like it's because it's weird. It's like
Now he's the
it's like
rap
Alice
devil.
Cooper is Alice Cooper, but the band is also Alice Cooper. So it's like Machine Gun Kelly. like he has a essentially, because I'm sure everyone's like, oh, it's MGK, and that sounds like a very one person. That's a name, so you're like, that guy's MGK, and he was like, well, actually, the band's
Band is
MGK.
talented, too. Very
But
talented.
I'll also like, yeah, whatever.
I'm guessing this guy's talent's primarily in like the lyrical element, because I listened to his diss track on Eminem because I was just like, everyone's talking about
Right,
this.
yeah,
Let's,
you have to.
click, and I'm like, not as good, not even close. So but I haven't heard any of his other stuff.
I mean, I would say no one does lyrically like Eminem does.
No, I'm saying MGK, like his
No, I
rapping
know.
style. I was just like, you're not drawing me in here, man.
I don't know, it's
Weird.
Oh yeah. Eminem
do you
stuff
think?
will always
God,
trend on
cool
YouTube
guy.
to where I'll find it eventually. This guy's stuff, first
Trap
time I ever
Paris,
seen
Trap
it.
Paris. You probably heard that one. That was
But I
on
knew the
radio.
hit you
like
mentioned.
here, I'll put it this way: there are multiple Eminem tracks that give me goosebumps, that pull me in, that give me a visual imagery of what's going on, and I'm very involved. Joyner Lucas has some stories that lyricism that do that for me, that give me goosebumps and make my stomach turn over. Now, MGK, the only track I can name offhand, and I don't know his work as well as probably you two, but the only track I can name offhand that really does that for me is probably "Kiss the Sky." Like
On Bloom.
that track gave me goosebumps. I'll give it
27 gave
that.
me goosebumps.
27's okay. At the same time, it's like, I don't know.
Black Flag. There's some ones in that. Black
Flag.
Flag
I was
itself
listening
is
to that
good.
today. I actually
Black
listened
Flag
to
itself
all
is
that,
good.
just because I.
Apparently, I need to go through those.
mixtape.
again.
I'm really out of touch with the rap. Apparently.
All right,
You're fine.
I
You're
like
fine.
old school stuff. Like I know, does knowing who Hobson is that credible? at all?
Yeah, everybody knows
Yeah.
Hobson. Yeah. I wouldn't
like
say everybody
Hobson.
knows him, but we know him.
Sorry, bud.
What'd
I
you
gotta
say?
put that out there, but not the best
Hobson's
live.
Good.
Hobson's not the best live. No, but I'm saying he's not the best. Like his live show is not very good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that
And-
he live video.
I even now, like I've seen him like multiple times, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he was in Wichita and he was like, no one's at my show.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna get through it. Like I'm being a musician on touring and shit. Sometimes you have those nights where you're like, I'm not gonna put it all out there because they're, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna fucking
definitely.
kill myself.
Well, it's like if I'm in Wichita and Wichita is a stop off before I hit Kansas City.
Yeah.
Sorry,
or
Wichita.
Dallas or something
You're
like that.
gonna
Take my shit
suck
for Kansas
today's
City.
dick because I gotta save some energy for these guys because I know the crowd's gonna be crazy
Right.
up there.
Right.
I
That's
get
definitely
that.
gotta
I
be a
get
part of
that,
it.
and that
It just sucks being
it sucks
in
for
that.
it sucks for our
Just living in
populace.
that town means that like, yeah, you have a chance of just getting a shittier show.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I've seen him twice now, and both times there was like other people that were very much their stage show was much more it was just better all around, really. I don't want to say developed because like Token didn't really, it was just Token, but he was all over the stage, fucking he was really good, and he was like and when I talked to him while Hobson was playing, and he was like over at and I just want to let you know you were the best fucking performer tonight. And he was like, hey man, thanks, that's fucking awesome. Like, no, for real, like I know it's gonna sound like I'm trying to suck up to you. Second time seeing Hobson, exact same thing that happened last time, where he's doing these motions, but like his face and all of his
Yeah, you
body
can tell
language is
this
very
is-
much like, I just want to get this over with. So
Make it worse.
like, man, I like you came out here even without the big crowd. You came out here and you fucking put it all out there.
Problem is
You're out
you
here
know-
sweating. You're out here jumping around. And shit. Like you're that man. Like that's you're gonna at least get something out of it, you know. And he was like,
On that note, like I didn't pick a side technically.
technical, okay.
So like
Technically.
I think both people win.
For sure.
I mean,
They're both
as
winners
far as
here.
marketing, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah, for
Because
sure.
now I know who MGK is. There you go.
So
Yeah,
the
but no.
conspiracy theory goes into like play there of like
That and then also Eminem coming back, like they both get something out of it, right? Eminem gets like come back, and people get it. First of all, Kamikaze was fucking great, and it's the first thing he's released in forever where you're like, this is old school Eminem.
Dude, I got
You know?
goosebumps on so many tracks on that.
So it's
song.
like, you're like, and this is what I was saying. The best thing about him going is MGK. It's like if MGK won in this like battle, really he doesn't have to win because this is another thing. But really, if he won in this battle, then it's like you can't actually say like, what do you say then about MGK? Because then it's like, all right, Eminem, who is now the closest we're ever gonna get to old school Eminem.
Right.
It came out and they just slugging it out, and like he fucking. That's the thing is he doesn't have to win as long as he can hold his ground. That's a win.
Yeah.
This is Mayweather versus McGregor in the rap game right now. You got Mayweather and Eminem.
Oh, God, that's a good
McGregor
analogy.
as MGK. McGregor doesn't have to win. He just has to hold
Just
his
to
own.
hold it until round
And he
10
did.
before he gets
And it was
out.
like, holy shit. Watching that fight, it was like, first of all, you didn't knee him one time. I was expecting that. Even though it was
Something
like,
dirty.
you know.
So it was a boxing match.
It was like.
You were watching something.
Did you know about the money thing that was on the line?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any elbows or knees took like
but even with
more.
that, I think it was more than that. I thought it was like
you risk it,
millions.
though?
Like
Like,
I
go
thought it was
for
like
it.
$1 million or
Like,
2
do it.
million per thing.
Oh wow, okay.
But and then like after so many, obviously you get disqualified. But like I'm not saying he was going to do it to be dirty. I just thought it was like he is a
Instincts are
top
gonna
level
kick in.
fighter. Yeah, his instincts. When I'm in this position, like you don't even, you know.
It did kick in the sense that McGregor definitely threw some hammer fists.
He did.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, for
But
sure.
and like that's totally illegal in boxing. You don't see that shit in boxing. But back to the conspiracy theory. I mean, here's the thing: how do you give MGK more credence than giving this much time before you release your response? Because it's been said
him
by
looks
his
good.
producers that
He's doing
definitely
something.
coming up with a
yeah,
response.
yeah.
Right.
So like that's kind of my point here is like he could have had the response 3 days ago. Not saying he did, but he could
Right.
have, and he could have been like, I'm gonna give the kid a little bit more credibility. I'm gonna make it interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until the deadline so that way people are like, some people still take his side even if I do come back with a better quality response than his
Right.
did.
Yeah.
I don't doubt he's going to. I don't think it's gonna stop there.
Right.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I hope they go like, dude,
This
if
is
they
so
went like
good
4
for
or 5
hip-hop.
like diss tracks a piece deep, that'd be fucking sweet.
This is so good for hip hop. Like
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. It's like, hey, if this is what it takes to fucking get mumble rap out of here, like get the fuck out.
and that's what I think
Shoot,
the
like-
reason the album was called Kamikaze was like that's Eminem's way of saying I don't give a fuck if everybody hates me after this and it does destroy my reputation and I do have to technically retire or whatever because as long as I stir up enough shit that you little fucks get motivated and quit worrying about mumble rap because it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you guys could have kept fucking electronic dance music for that. You guys could have kept dubstep and all these other ways that we fucking vibe to
Right.
keep music without ruining my fucking art form
Right.
that I respected all the greats on. Like,
Yeah.
all the people that came before Eminem even. Like, Big Daddy
for
Kane.
sure.
It
Yeah,
was, I guess,
Like,
yeah, it wasn't like he was the
Okay.
first one.
Right, exactly. But that's what Eminem is saying is like, I had to pay respect to these motherfuckers to get where I am, and now you
Yeah.
fuckers don't
Yep.
have to pay respect to the people I paid respect to, and now I'm shitting on you for it. That's the biggest point of this album.
For sure. No, it's great. It is great. That's the whole thing. It's like that was a weird thing. There's some random kids that came into work the other night. Hey man, who you got? MGK or Eminem? They're like G-Eazy, and I was like, he's kind of on the side right now. Like, you know,
Definitely got shoved to the back burner and
Yeah.
then possibly into like the grease
That's how
scraper
irrelevant he
behind
is, though.
it.
I just want to point that out. Like the dude, I liked him. I like his old stuff before he started getting
Myself and I.
big. No.
Before that though,
That album,
because that was like
even that album was good. I like that album. I didn't like Me, Myself,
it's
and
not
I.
a bad song or a
Like-
bad album. But what I'm saying is like I didn't know who
That's
the fuck he
definitely
was
his
until that song came
yeah.
out.
That's definitely his rate. But like all the old stuff before that, I jammed the shit out of all of that. Like I used to listen to him on replay with MGK like all the time. But he stopped with that sound that like it didn't hit me the same way that he used to. Like, he used to be like a really chill rapper, and it was just like fuck yeah, like that's cool. I like this. Really good with like even like his what do you call it, like bat would they be like, or choruses, like where they're really catchy choruses that
Right, good
it would be,
hooks.
yeah, good hooks. Like he was really good at putting those into a song too, and like all that. And I was just like, fuck yeah, like I fuck with that. And then like he changed completely. Like his the new song that Mike what's it like if I hit it one time, then I don't even know.
yeah. Oh my
Like,
god,
that
no, I
song,
can't remember
like,
that either. Holy
it's
shit.
not what I like from Jeezy. The song itself is pretty catchy, but there's also a lot of other people on that song that make it like pretty catchy.
Okay.
It's like that's what I go for when it comes to Jeezy. But if it comes to like now, the dude's on the back burner so hard when it comes to relevance. Like I
yeah.
just do not see him as part of the rap game like he thinks or wants to himself to be. He got really famous again because of Halsey, and then after Halsey like left him, like that's where his relevance is right now. More drama compared to Halsey, who's really good at singing and really good at she's really feminism and stuff like that because she got like raped
Really
and all
good
that.
at feminism. But no, yeah. I mean, I think he's one of my this is gonna sound weird at first, but like one of my more favorite, like I guess main like radio rapper people. But he's definitely that to where like on his disc when he was talking, like on the disc to MGK where he was talking about how he's like sold so many records and shit. It's like out more. When you sell out more, you make more money.
I noticed that you released 10,000, or you got 10,000 record sales, but you also released 10,000 records. So
yeah, like hey, cool. But I mean, it's more than that. Like
it's a lot of features
when you're in the industry like that. When you're into like a big label, like they push you. Obviously, if they can,
loves features.
But like the thing, well, features. But even more than that is like you're gonna write your song this way,
right.
And then eventually, it's probably like he just knows what they're gonna say it, or maybe he starts thinking like that's how I'm just gonna do it. I want to make money, so I'm gonna make my songs like this. So now you, without even like thinking about it, you're actually just selling out almost.
Well, and that's I completely agree on that, and that's kind of like at face value. You look at MGK, or you listen to anybody else who's around MGK and talks about him, like the interview with Mod's son, where he's talking about fuck fame.
Yeah,
that beautiful interview made me an even bigger fan of MGK. At a point
shout out to Mod's son, that dude's super cool.
Mod's son is.
Talked to that guy for a while, and again, if for somehow somebody gets us to Mod's son, let him know that if he needs a drummer, I'm still here. I'm the guy from Wichita that showed up drunk and started talking with you about being your drummer right next to his current drummer, and I didn't realize that until they started playing. I was like, shit. Also, that guy is his drummer, and he was definitely right next to him, like rolling up a blunt while I was talking to him. Like, hey man, I love your book. It's fucking awesome. You need a drummer? Cause
I'm here.
Play the drums, man. I'm a touring drummer.
But you didn't dog on the current.
No, I didn't know. I was like,
so like that does save you, and it shows that you were being genuine, and in your ignorance, it showed that you were completely genuine. Like, and that's where I was gonna go with this. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say plus if he was rolling a blunt, he's like, hell yeah, man, guy drums, I drum. You know, like he's probably not too worried about it. It's like, dude, maybe he should join. Like,
we need a drummer.
Maybe you have
two drummers.
What bands?
Tired.
Yeah, what bands do you see that have two drummers?
I'll do two songs, then you do two songs, then I'll do two songs.
I could use some time off. Like, it'd be easier for me. Less of a workload.
That's always been one of the things that drew me to MGK from the beginning was his to Eminem and the fact that like I'm me, I'm genuinely me. Yeah. I don't know how to be fake. Like MGK couldn't be fake if he fucking wanted to. Eminem couldn't be fake if he fucking wanted to. Obviously, if Eminem could fake the funk, Revival would have been a hit.
Yep,
that's true.
I hate to dog it, but
oh, for sure.
When I heard the feature list on Revival, I was like, I'm not listening to a fucking track on that album.
I haven't heard.
Not doing it.
I haven't listened to it.
That's so funny.
I have just because of the.
I don't listen to the radio.
Internet. No, because I hear it on the internet too.
Like you,
I'm just on YouTube.
I love you to death, Justin, and this isn't dogging on you. You keep your finger on the pulse as a zeitgeist way harder than I ever would or have. Like, you know style more than I do on a regular basis. You know who's popular in music more than I do.
The current stuff, the current pop culture stuff.
Yeah, you let me know what was being played in the club. You showed me what Lil Yachty was about. You showed me who Baby Dram was. Like, you showed me artists that I will literally never find out about on my own, and I appreciate the fuck out of that for you. But also because of that, like, you're never gonna be as diehard on an Eminem thing as I am.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the hardcore, I'm gonna be an asshole even if you don't like it thing is definitely where I'm at.
It is.
Yeah.
So, differences in ourselves allow me to appreciate.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not the first time I've heard it. I'm definitely
we're 40% here, you know.
But I definitely like when it comes to honestly, all I have to do is like thank you. I'm just on top of YouTube all the time.
But you have to have the genuine curiosity to look at things that you don't really know if they're going to appeal to you. Like me, like if you take your route, so you know you're on the main path of like culture and what's in essentially. And you even probably look at stuff that's not in just to see if it might be. Like, with me, we're walking along that same path. As soon as I find something like Eminem or, like, artists I really like, I just branch off and give the finger and just follow that shit for the rest of my life. And I might grab a thing every once in a while.
I can't do that. I definitely can't do that.
Then it's just, it's complete blinders to all the other
curiosity
shit.
Gets the best of me, and I'm like, we're going to see what's going on over here. And then I'm like, oh, shit, all right, well, I like this. And then I'm like, well, this is connected to this. I'm gonna click. I get so deep into.
B-Tray1, thanks for following.
I've gotten so deep into YouTube one time, just like
Sorry for
clicking
the
off
internet
on
issues.
clicking off on random stuff and like everything. Like I'll just click off, and I've gotten on my recommended now. It's got MRE eatings, like people just giving me like reviews on MREs, and I don't know why.
I've watched those.
Yeah, that's on my thing.
Yeah,
and I'm
those
just
are
like,
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Guy gets like MREs from like Vietnam that he buys at an
he's, like,
auction. He's
super-
like,
he
let's eat this and figure out what it's like.
It gives you like really detailed stuff, and then I've got
Garbage, alright.
chiropractic like just back like popping stuff.
Yeah, like back in I think it was World War II in the Pacific, MREs had, before it was commercialized as Adderall,
Yeah.
it had the like un-FDA approved military format of Adderall that was like heavy dose, and there's just
You
a
can stay
massive
on
roll of it,
focus.
and it said that only take if issued by CO, and do not take more than like 2 within 24 hours, so soldiers could stay
They
up
don't,
for
they don't
40
give
hours
those out
straight.
anymore, do they?
Just
I bet
wired
they
it
don't
out
give
of
those
their
out
mind.
anymore. Yeah, I'm joking. It's it's like a third level
Control.
control, third
Got me.
third
Got me.
Yeah,
level control.
But can you just imagine some dude like in a foxhole for 36 hours just grinding his teeth like, holy shit. Like, dude, I'm
I can
so
definitely
amped right
see
now.
a sniper on a hill who's staking out something using amphetamines as a means
for sure.
to fucking
Stay
be
right
like,
there.
Probably-
you
they
are
probably still
catching
do.
this fucking bullet in your dome,
It's-
and
do
I
like
don't
math,
have to
like
go anywhere. I just peed myself. Guess how much I don't give a fuck.
hasn't blinked for like an hour.
Yeah.
6.
The Germans actually used
Gone.
meth.
Oh yeah, they were trying to make super soldiers out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Americans were like, we gotta put a different wrapper around it and not look like the bad guy.
Battlefield 5.
exactly.
I don't know if you played the beta. Your
make
idea is
it-
definitely in there.
Yeah, we'll make it. We'll put it in pill form. We'll make it look like
We were
Tums.
just talking about that too, like the new Battlefield. Like, what if? Because he was like, "Oh yeah, like the new Battlefield BR." Da da da. I was like, "What if like they actually do Clint's thing? Like, it totally makes sense because they're gonna
It's
look at
not like
Fortnite
detailed to your thing.
and be like, well, they have building and all that stuff, and it's like not that hard to like put 2 and 2 together. Like,
It didn't take me very long to think of it, and I'm not a game dev.
Yeah,
I'd be
so-
disappointed if you
The building
fuckheads
is
don't come up
basically
with
like
that.
you go up to like a wall and you can put sandbags and stuff like that, like reinforcement and reinforce like certain, so because it's big on conquest, like defending ABC and stuff like that. So you can go up to certain areas and like it takes a while because you have to build up resources and that like you stay alive for a while, but you can go up with like a hammer and you'll literally just like something or build like sandbags, stuff like that.
But yeah, and we'll like games like Rainbow Six Siege where you could reinforce walls and shit. Like that was definitely inspiring.
I love it.
But like I said, I spend 10 hours out of my day making people's grass shorter and listening to podcasts or music. So if I can come up with that concept, just spitballing about games for 10 seconds, I'd be really mad if game devs didn't implement something like that.
yeah, for sure.
Great idea.
You're good. I've been wanting, but my thing is I don't like when games try and. I wish EA had been like, all right, let's look at the numbers. We've got our audience of Battlefield guys that play our shit and have for years. Not a big audience, but the Battle Royale games have taken over both the console and PC market and have held that for the last year and a half, 2 years. Maybe we should just make our game entirely that.
Yeah.
Let's not do the single player. Let's not dick with the whole same old,
Right.
here's a map, big map, run 20 minutes to find some guy, get in a plane if you don't want to, so you immediately get blown up,
Yeah.
Yeah, because some teammate put C4 on it just for the lulz.
True. It always
Battlefield
happens.
3.
Battlefield 4 is a fun, well, Battlefield in general is a fun playground, arcade, well, in quotations, military simulation. It's not Arma. But,
Arma's good.
but I've been saying it since PUBG came out. I was like, damn, why won't? Because I love Battlefield's engine. I love the gameplay, the how it looks. It runs great. Yeah, I was like, why wouldn't they just make a game? And they're like, all right, Battlefield 5's coming out. We're making it, and we'll have something in there that's like for a Royale. It's like if you're putting something in there, you're doing that just so everyone buys it to try it, and then realizes
We didn't put that much
it's
effort
not
into
that
it.
great. Because all it is going to be is probably like, all right, everyone just parachutes in and. You
Go
start,
at it. Here we
you
go.
pick what weapons you want, and then just figure out if you can survive.
Well, like,
Great.
I don't know if I'd want like a Battlefield game or have that battle royale as
Call of
the
Duty looks
game.
good. You're about to hit a
Like-
topic with me. I've been looking at it for the past 2 days.
Well, because like you buy a Battlefield game to have a 10-mile long map of running from one side to another to see one guy and get sniped from the hill. Not see it all.
Yeah.
You don't buy it to play Fortnite because you own Fortnite already.
Because it's free.
It's just preference because I like the modes they have where the maps are smaller and no vehicles.
Rushes and stuff.
That's
like
my shit.
Yeah.
I don't like that the 50-year-old dad is sitting in like a ATV with a 50 cal automatic gun on top, and he's just sitting there parked by Wendy's and just blasts me when I run by. Like I don't like that. I like even playing fields. So that's probably why I'm kind of biased against it.
Blackout thing comes out September 10th, and it looks pretty
Blackout,
good.
what?
Call of Duty Blackout, their battle royale mode. Do you know? Okay, so I'll give you a rundown before you start to
Call of
judge.
Duty's got a
You-
battle royale.
already judging is going to be there. Like as everyone's already judging it.
As soon as you said
Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I
but
immediately wanted to cry.
So I completely agree with you when it comes to it. But I've looked at the trailer and they've put out like some information about it.
I
So-
played the beta.
Blackout.
No, I've played the game, their new
I did-
game beta.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's Madden. It's every Call of Duty game that's ever come out before.
yeah.
It's not.
I'm talking about Blackout. Like, so imagine that mode. I'm assuming it's gonna be that mode. You're gonna have vehicles, which Call of Duty vehicles have been kind of cool before. Like they have their cool ones. But so they're not gonna have solo. It's not a solo thing. You're matched with 4 people, and then
Oh,
you
that
go
won't
in.
get toxic.
And then, yeah, I know, right? And it's squad based, so it's 16 players, 4v4v4, and then one wins.
Yeah,
But
no.
so it's
There's
because
gonna
of
be
that
4 in
running
there.
gun, you don't. That's why you don't have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait.
Oh, I did 3.
Yeah.
My thing is
One
there.
squad didn't connect, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
To me, like COD's player base, it's a hunch, but I believe it. COD's player base has been dwindling. Like
It's gone down, but I don't know if dwindling's the correct.
6
Definitely
years ago, it
still
was.
got enough people to make it dollars every year.
Yeah, but if you look on
I've made this
Twitch,
argument multiple times.
like if you look on Twitch, because COD is the console go-to, but Fortnite. When did Fortnite come out? On
last
console.
year and a half, year and 4 months ago.
Battle Royale version. came
Okay.
out.
So,
Yeah,
if we look at it this way, Fortnite's Battle Royale version came out a year and a half ago. COD would not have had time to implement anything with that trend into their upcoming release in November, right? So they released their game, and now World War II, which I thought sucked, and I was heartbroken because I played COD 1 on PC.
right.
World War II, it was awesome. It was
Engine was
revolutionary.
definitely different.
You
Engine
could
was
look
definitely
through
different
iron
in COD
sights
1.
in games. I never was able to do that before. It was like the Medal of Honor Allied Assault on massive steroids.
Oh, I love Medal of Honor.
So keep that in mind. I played it and I'm
Honor
like,
so
hey,
good.
it's literally Black Ops 2 with World War II skins and guns. I wasn't thrilled. So now they didn't have time to change their release of World War II. So now they've got their new one coming out after Fortnite has taken over the world, and they're like, okay, we'll put in Battle Royale or a mode of it to try and pander to that audience. What do you think do you really think all those COD players that left to go to Fortnite and have gotten so much better at Fortnite and care so much about it are going to leave to go play COD that just has a mode that resembles Battle Royale?
You're gonna try it. You're gonna
The
at least
only
try
players
it.
I think
Now,
that stick with
now,
COD
if
are-
it stays, definitely depends on how good a game is. But that's any game that comes out.
I think the only players that stick with COD are the real big, very casual, very amateur fanboys and the elitists that are still trying to climb or have already climbed the esports chain of COD.
Right.
Those are the only two I think stay. Outside
that's
that middle chunk that's like, well, we have a console. There's not a lot of shooters. Guess we'll just buy the new COD like everybody else. Those guys are probably gone. At least 30 to 50% of them.
And it's a
People wanna come
$60
back to
release.
COD.
Yeah.
Well,
So you have to really want to
I
buy
hated
it.
spending $60 to buy Spider-Man.
feel like-
hated that.
Now imagine
I
doing it
don't
for Call of
buy
Duty,
video games
knowing you're
based
not
off-
gonna. Yeah,
will.
I know you will, which is stupid because then you're not gonna play it after 2
will.
weeks.
I
Like,
would.
all right, cool. And like, the only thing that I could see the Call of Duty thing doing better in VR is the professional scene, which I don't think would.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be enough people there to give a shit about.
4v4v4v4.
Yeah,
Right.
because it's a lot easier to get 16 seats than it is to get 100.
Well, they're gonna release their battle royale, and a lot of people are gonna try it, and like some Fortnite
They're
people.
giving us a chance to see it.
Already
They're giving
saying
it-
Battle Royale, though, and then being like, well, there's 16.
I'm interrupting. Sorry.
That's fair enough.
But there'll be plenty of people who jump on, especially people who are like Fortnite fans who have that like experience, who want to jump in and be like, okay, I'm gonna play Battle Royale in another game that I like, Call of Duty. But like, it's still Call of Duty. You're gonna have all the Call of Duty fanboys come back. You're gonna have all the newbies who like haven't bought the last 3 games, who are like, I want to buy a new Call of Duty game. This one's new. I'm gonna jump on that, and it has a Battle Royale. But if Call of Duty were to release an entire game that was just a Battle Royale, like, even if they put all their money into it, it's still going to look as a pandering to the Fortnite audience.
I'm
They're
not-
just going to try to take those people. So it's like a whole, like, if you release that, then you're just trying to say they win. And even with Battlefield and Call of Duty doing it, you're like, okay, well, they've won. We're going to put a game mode in. Like, Minecraft has a Battle Royale mode. I think they had it first.
OG, yeah, the
It was
OG.
like, they had a Battle Royale mode for forever, but that doesn't mean that Minecraft 2 is going to come out and it's going to be only Battle Royale, because
Right.
why,
Yeah.
why would
yeah.
Minecraft exist
Do that.
anymore?
Yeah, right. Minecraft's always about their mods. It's all about
go
the
ahead, go
mods.
ahead.
For me, I feel like Call of Duty's kind of fallen into the same category as Madden to a degree.
All right, yeah, that's why he called it Madden. He
Yeah.
called it Madden earlier.
Oh, okay. I missed that apparently. Sorry. But also, like, here's the thing. As a possible appeal, the reason I enjoy World War II, because the old Call of Duties, like you said, you could aim through the iron sights and use them. I pulled up the M1 Garand. That's like the first gun you get on multiplayer, and I was excited because I was like, fuck yeah, I don't even have to work to get my favorite gun. And you pull up the sights on that thing, and it's almost fucking useless. You can't see through the sight to aim with it, when on the first Call of Duty that it was on, it was a perfect trident, and I could look through. That was my favorite sight I've ever used it. So when World War II totally failed that, I was super fucking bummed.
I just wish they'd go back to. I just wish, because if you look at, and I wanted to follow up on your statement too, Alex. When you look at Call of Duty, the first one that came out, it was very bare bones. I don't even think they had kill streaks. They didn't even have kill
No,
streaks.
it was more Battlefield. It was more Battlefield.
Well, it was small
even
maps.
the engine. Even the engine.
All it was in the PC world, it was a separate path you could take that's not Quake or Counter Strike.
Yeah.
That was what Call of Duty was,
And it had
a good single player.
single player.
Yeah, it had a good single player story, and actually had voice acting in it, which was unheard of back then in cinematics. But and you were looking at me when you were explaining your position, and I don't know if that was based on what I said earlier, or if it was just because you were looking at me. But okay, because I guess I'm not bummed that games are putting in Battle Royale modes in their game. I just think that I really think that a lot of the games that have held their footing for so long, like Call of Duty, are going to be showing extreme impacts from Fortnite's popularity, because the free-to-play model is the best way. It's League of Legends, and League of Legends did it, and for some reason Dota 2's like, no. Initially in beta they're like, no, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, you know what? Free to play and skins.
Maybe this is
and
good.
they're the last. I can't think of another really top game that's done that. But now you've got Fortnite, where it literally costs you nothing, and still developers, including Call of Duty, that literally reskin their game annually and just switch developers to make sure they can hit that deadline, are still releasing the same product with a different visual appeal.
Yeah.
It annoys the hell out of
They've
me.
been pandering to an audience since Modern Warfare 1. Basically, that was the deadline where they're like, okay, we're going to release a game every year from now on, and we're going to make sure something's new in it. Modern Warfare 2 came out, and everyone was super excited, and Black Ops 2 came out, and everyone was like, okay, good.
You forgot one. Black Ops 1. You forgot Black Ops 1.
But Black Ops 2 came out, everyone was excited. Ghost came out, and everyone was like...
3. Went 3 and then Ghost.
You know what I mean? Like, Modern Warfare 3 came out. Everyone played this last year. You have the same guns even.
Yeah.
Like, the Scar is still the Scar.
Exactly same guns.
And then they were like, okay, we're going to introduce new... Titanfall came out. Have all these different things. Interesting. And then games came out that year that all had that. And you're like, okay, we're all...
This is weird, because Titanfall 1 definitely flopped.
Yeah.
At first
It flopped
though.
That is
because
the-
they
it's
had
like-
no single player.
And it was
Multiplayer
EA.
only.
And it was an EA
and
game.
it was EA.
And there wasn't a whole lot to the multiplayer. Fun as fuck. It was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good to run
But
around.
killing AI is not.
But there wasn't,
I get no.
There wasn't multiple
Woo,
Titans
I killed
or
an
anything
AI.
like that.
Yeah.
There wasn't
Right.
like a whole. Or
Titanfall 2 was good. I don't know why
Titanfall
that
2
didn't
was
get
really
hyped.
good.
I don't know why that
Because
didn't get hyped.
Because it
the
was
same
still
thing.
Titanfall.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was Titanfall
So
again.
changed the.
Water was the well was already poisoned.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
didn't want to go
exactly,
back.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was fun. It had a good
super fun.
multiplayer.
Yeah, I liked it a
but
lot.
They should have changed up the skins just a bit and then named it something else.
Yeah.
Like if they hadn't named it Titanfall 2, if it would have been like Exodia
They
File
also
or some
introduced
dumb
a
shit,
career
and
that
it
was
would've
kind of
worked.
interesting.
What?
The career was even
Colossus
interesting.
The
Trip
campaign
or
was
something.
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, that was
it
pretty
had-
cool.
It had a huge story through it where you had like a.
It wasn't huge. It was on. I think it was like
Well,
2
no,
hours.
It wasn't
What they
long.
should
Yeah,
do
Good. Like,
Yeah.
it was a
is-
big story.
and this is gonna flop. I don't know why I'm saying it out. They should reskin Titanfall with all the old Gundam suits and then
Hey, that'd be
drop
cool as
one.
fuck.
100%. I am playing the fuck out of that.
I would.
Give me Death Scythe Hell. Give me fucking like.
You guys
That'd be
ever play
cool.
Mech Warrior?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had actually.
Yeah,
I played a lot of Armored Core too.
Mech Assault back in the day.
Mech Warrior is Gundam's 80s. BattleTech books originated, I think, in the 70s and 80s, which is what Warrior came out of. Right. It was the first online game I ever played on AOL in 1997.
Is it
Um,
really that old?
Mech Warrior 3 came out in 1997. Mech Warrior Online was made by Piranha Games, which was a free-to-play game that came out, I think, 4 years ago. Yeah. And that was my
Play's
first.
just been so successful, you know.
But I guess the only reason I brought this up is because like the BattleTech books that brought like the military lore, because it's all factions based. Like you've got, and it's hard to nutshell. Think of the same way we've got countries and you've all got your own political beliefs and stuff like
Right.
that. It's like that, but the how badass some of these factions are and like their military structure and like rules. Like if you want to talk about like cool RP, I came back to Mech Warrior Online just to play it with a buddy of mine because we both really love those books, and we didn't even intend to join like an RP clan. Like I'm an esports guy. I haven't been in a clan in 15 years, but I get in there and they're like, all right, we're gonna RP this shit like D&D. And we sit in. This dude reads a 15-minute monologue out of the book word by word, but inserts our names instead. Like everyone
sweet,
talks
though.
to each other like they're their superior officer and shit. Yeah. And we had to duel. We each had to duel we sat in this arena on a map, and then the rule of thumb is because we were in a clan, which is more like mercenaries, like cutthroats. They're not the pretty inner sphere guys. Clans are just like we're mercs. We're here for war. That's what we do. And the rule is you pick, you stand in the middle of the ring and you call out anyone of any rank to fight. And if you win, you will get the rank right underneath them. And they didn't know, none of them really played with me except one guy who was like a corporal. And I fucking just mopped him up because I played Mech Warrior 3 for like 3 years every day as a 12-year-old. And so I called out the major and I destroyed him. And it was so hard for these guys to keep RP because they're like, what? This guy's account's like 2 weeks old. Like he's all like ego just butthurt. And I'm like, guess what's my rank now? Like
Hey
Lance?
guys.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And my
So now
coworker,
all of you are below me.
Yeah.
Can we just change my rank name to Daddy?
Yeah, but it was, and they also like changed the some Elite Dangerous did this when you did at in game, but it makes it sound like you're in the ship or something.
Oh, yeah.
So they like
Armor,
on
too.
TeamSpeak they put in a plugin where it makes it sound like you're coming over like a CB radio or something like that, and it's all staticky and shit.
Awesome.
It was it was as close as I got to like D&D. Like even in like there's massive raids in that game, like 50 on 50 or something big, like a lot of players.
Like PvP.
Yeah, and you actually fight people. You pilot your own mech, and you actually fight people, and the winner gets either that component of the planet. I think it's you actually fight over territory, kind of like For Honor,
sweet.
but it actually matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so even then it was like he was jumping through TeamSpeak channels and like shouting out orders and like flanking like grid points and shit. It was insane. But
Game in order to like.
I played that for like 4 weeks every day for hours and got so burnt out. You know what? Nostalgia's been filled Like I want to go play something that other people actually play.
That's the crappy part about it, though,
Yeah,
because then
but
you're
it
like,
was- But the lore, the BattleTech books and the lore is what's so badass because if like Gundam and anime like epic things, like that's all those books are, and it's pretty real. It's realistic in a sense of combat. But they're coming out with a new Mech Warrior game based off BattleTech books. It's all single player, and it's like you start at the bottom and you just work your way up, and it's kind of like BioWare. You make your decisions, and you literally just start climbing or die. Climb military. Like me and my friend that I started playing Mech Warrior with hit me up and was like, dude, I'm going to disappear off the planet for like 3 weeks. But yeah, I'm sorry to go off on that tangent. But
no, you're good.
But that
sounds
the
fucking
root
sweet.
of my gaming core started on that one game.
That brought up something I've always been interested in. Actually got a chance to look into or like really get into is the Warhammer 40K. Like everything I've ever seen, every fan art picture I've ever seen, every like story I've ever seen has been like, here's this really badass corporal in giant armor, and he's fighting people and smashing people's heads in with a hammer, and then I'm like, what is this game? What is this? And it's like, oh, this doesn't actually exist. No one talks about this. And I was like, what?
If the term Space Marine doesn't give you a sci-fi boner, I mean,
Game is so good.
nothing else will.
My buddy Payne, he has a
Not
bunch
the
of
game
models.
or Gears of War kind, not the torso just running around.
Now the 40K board game and whatnot. But my buddy has all that, like talk about D&D, like the really expensive figures that are like hand painted.
Yeah.
He does that. He's got like a whole like bookshelf just filled with thousands of dollars of painted
Such a
stuff.
commitment. Such a commitment.
Dude,
Guilty pleasure,
You're
man.
one to
As I
talk.
say that,
You're
as I
like
say
a-
the commitment.
You're like a
here.
League what? Diamond 1,
Plat.
Grand Champion, Platinum.
Give me too much credit. Just plat.
Down more. Down more.
No.
Down more.
What's your Call of Duty?
so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Off air, I can say diamond.
not Warhammer 40K, but I've read some of the books from like just Warhammer, which is like old school medieval
Fantasy?
Yeah.
fantasy level shit, and like Odds of Chaos, I think
Yeah.
is the name of the book, is one of my favorite short stories. This guy who obviously a bad guy kills another bad guy, and he gets this suit of armor from him, and the armor infects him, and then eventually to
Kinky.
give birth to the demon.
Fucking
Short
real.
synopsis. And they do it in like 20 pages, and it was awesome, and it was super gritty and super detailed and just really well written.
Oh,
Not a metaphor
Warhammer
for anything
Online.
either.
You ever play that? Warhammer Online?
Watched my friend
Vermintide?
Hunter play it a few times, but I've never played it.
That's been my favorite MMO ever, and it died so swiftly that depressing. But an MMO where it's entirely PvP, how you level
Yeah, I remember
up.
watching
Planet
that.
Side 2 kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that like Planetside?
But it's in it's like WoW as far as
Right. It's
abilities.
like medieval and stuff like that. It's not.
and it wasn't. So there's instances that you could just like Battlegrounds where you
Drop
could go
into.
do that. But then when you got out of that, there was also realm warfare where like guilds would own a castle or factions would, because it's just like WoW where there's allies and
Axis.
alliance and horde.
Yeah.
And wow, that took me a second. And so we just
turn.
go into a town and being like chat like, yo, everyone band up, we're going. Where are we going?
Yeah. What? Okay.
Yeah, they'd be like, here, and we just show up and they could drop hot oil down and light it on fire and all kinds of stuff.
That's what's up. That's
There's that
why.
one game that we used to play where you command like a big army and you could put like traps because you knew their army was coming, and it's like they're, oh my god, and you put
Command and Conquer?
no
Something Kingdom?
Kingdom, and then like the second one like sucked ass. You remember?
We
You know what I'm
rented
talking
it from
about.
Leakers.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there was like a vampire chick.
And it was so cool.
And like, well, it was great concept. The execution in game was like, either I just sucked balls at this game and couldn't figure it the fuck
Yeah.
out, which I didn't have an issue with any other game that we ever got,
Right.
or the game wasn't like the
Almost like Total War to give you guys an
tutorials were
idea of
great.
what
Like
we're talking about.
you had sappers, and they'd go up and they'd plant bombs, or you could go plant like these
Yeah.
entire armies, like battalions.
Was it turn-based?
I don't think it was turn-based. It was all live time.
Yeah,
like
that's what I
as
think.
you were
Yeah,
running,
yeah,
like the battle would start. You'd be like, okay, I got to send my dudes over here, and they got to plant these traps.
Yeah,
so I got to
yeah,
have
it
these
was
other
great,
guys
and
come
it was
over here.
great.
The archers
I know,
have to defend them as they're setting up the traps.
Yeah.
And then I have to have somebody else lure these assholes in. Like once you got to like a certain stage in the game, I couldn't get any.
Yeah. I remember. Definitely.
Halo
I'll
Wars.
have to.
That game sucked ass. Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth 2. That game was fun. On Xbox.
War of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
What was the
Battle of
second
Mordor
one?
and it was War of
Battle
Mordor.
for Middle.
Was it? I don't think it was War. I don't know. But that one, that one looked way better. All good.
We just talked about something. I don't know if you guys watched Joe Rogan recently. Fuck the guy running to be mayor of New York.
Yeah, did you watch that one recently? Kind of weird that we'd be doing a podcast, talking about another podcast. I don't remember that dude's name. Justin fell asleep because he took a bunch of
the
melatonin.
Joe Rogan podcast, which is basically mainstream media.
That's true. But that was the whole thing. This guy who's actively right now
Trying to
become the mayor, saying he's
he's gonna win. He says,
Yeah,
"When
yeah,
I win."
he's-
War, by the way.
Shadow of War. Okay.
Rogan podcast.
No. So
Something
yeah,
Sharpay.
yeah, Sharpay.
Larry
Yeah.
Sharpay.
Larry Sharpay or no?
He's sharp.
Larry doesn't.
Oh yeah, Larry Sharp.
Or
Watching that.
Sharpay. It was kind of hard. It was kind of hard to watch, but it was also really nice. Well, like it was just hard to watch because he was like, was so like
He calls Joe
Headstrong.
Rogan.
and
Elon Musk is on the podcast tomorrow.
oh shit.
Shit! Finally.
September 6th, Eddie Bravo. And
which was
Elon
today.
Musk. Hey, yeah.
Hey, that
New
was
one.
after.
Oh shit. Well,
I
see you
know.
guys. We're getting off now. Hold
Yeah,
on.
we gotta go.
No, but
Sorry.
Actually, just
Not
pull it
go
up.
look at
We'll
that.
just pull it
Yeah.
up and we'll just like watch the VOD and we'll just have some
We'll have
reaction.
a live action commentating
We're gonna have-
podcast on a live action commentating podcast.
Yeah.
We're also gonna do fight companions for Joe Rogan's fight companions from now on.
But yeah, it was like he was telling him all these ideas. He had a one that I can recall. I think right there. So he was very headstrong, and he was like my way or the highway kind of guy.
I kind of picked that up just within the first few minutes that I caught.
Yeah, and like,
He's like, no, if you come watch my thing, you will go vote.
yeah,
I'm like,
for me because I'm right. And it was like, okay, you are a Democrat, Joe Rogan. He's like, no, how am I a
I
Democrat?
don't want
He's
a
like, "I'm
dictator, so fuck you. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of like that inspires an instant revolt
Yeah,
within people like
for
me.
sure.
So
yeah. But even past that, he was like, here's these problems. It's like, well, these are the answers. And he was like, everyone always says that we need more funding for schools and we need more administration. We don't need that. That's not. He's like, I talk to teachers like we need less administration, and I can still not do. I can still not do. I can take away the funding, and we just have less administration.
Jim Jones!
It's still going to be okay. And Rogan would be like, "What do you mean? Like, just explain to me what you're trying to say here, because I already see these like big holes in your plan."
Azeroth is
And he's like,
back.
"Well, this is what I'm telling you right now.
They're all back,
This is
and
what I'm telling you
it's-
right now.
the
I
trolls
don't
are
have
back.
all the answers, but we just need to do it. Essentially, this is me like summarized, but basically, it's like
right.
we just need to do it, and we'll figure it out." He actually does say that. That's he's like, "We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out." Without that's a fucking terrible idea.
You're a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, I was like, we have people that we can actually like imagine, like, if we took this away,
The audio buffering is audio buffering.
we've already. I mean, you could try to, but we did that yesterday and literally didn't
My
matter.
boy Blue.
Right, we did that yesterday. and we
I
lowered it
just
to like
if
500,
the video's the
400.
thing buffering and the audio's there, like why not just put the
Matter,
picture?
yeah.
Why not just
I mean,
put
you
our
could try
picture
it
and
just
just
to
do
make
our
it easier
audio?
on it, but
Well, I think a lot of people do that, like for
Yeah.
their podcast, they'll just put a blank
picture.
picture, and then
Yeah.
after the fact, when they post a video, it's like if you really wanted to see the people talking about it, then
Go
there's
to
a
the
video.
thing. Yeah. For right now, we could always just do the thing.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not doing anything incredibly entertaining.
Yeah,
with
we're just
my-
sitting here
with
talking.
myself,
Yeah, we're
so
just
the
sitting here
audio is
talking.
really the important part.
Yeah.
Unless you didn't see this
Everything is
badass
buffering,
cup
by the way.
and that
So
other
audio and
badass
everything.
helmet thing.
That's
I don't
good.
know.
That's always good.
But no, like
Love
if
it.
you're gonna
recording, right?
Jim Jones.
Just to make sure.
Oh, dear
It's like,
God.
oh damn. Well, started from the top, guys. All right, so yeah.
He- just go for
Yeah,
it.
stay here for a second. He's gonna restart the stream.
Go to
He's gonna
500
adjust-
bit rates. God.
adjust the bit rate and everything, and start it over.
Technical
100, I think.
This will, but you know.
We get the
for
picture of the
recording
kitten
later.
on the wire, the hang in there thing.
Hang in there.
With the Spanish national.
It just takes a second.
Yeah, it might just take a second. Stop the recording though. Okay.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah,
No,
I would say go watch that one though. Go watch at least some of it.
I definitely am.
Yeah,
I have it downloaded to listen to. So I'm gonna listen to it.
listen to. You don't have to
That
watch it.
motherfucker's hard to look at. Just so you guys know, he's not pretty.
Yeah, but he did have a good idea. He was like, we have like 12 bridges just in New York City, and one of them's named after an old mayor. Why? That's stupid. He's like, name it. We should basically auction off the name of the bridge, which I thought was weird at first. Like, why would you not? Why are you gonna keep it this? He's like, no. He's like, name it like the Verizon Bridge or whatever. It's like 12 point however many million people say it, or maybe it said it was mentioned 12 point something million like times a day. Just bridge name. Let's talk about it. If we auction off the name of the bridge and say, all right, you can lease this bridge, the name of the bridge for this long, and da-da-da. And basically part of it would be like, if you own the name of the bridge and that's your bridge, you have to do the on it. You have to keep up on it. So the companies have to be paying for it instead of the state and all that. So like taxes wouldn't have to worry about it. So that'd be a big chunk.
Yeah, but I'm not really into giving corporations any more power than they already have.
Yeah, but it would just be like the name of the bridge. Like you
Selling
can
out as
you can
America.
decide
Well,
to-
yeah, but
Selling out as
it
America,
always
like-
starts there, and then some
Yeah.
asshole in the company is like, "Well, we're going to write a sneaky contract, and we're going to put in more rights that we
Yeah.
shouldn't
Right,
have
it would
than we
definitely come
actually
down.
do," and then somebody's going to be
Corruption is
dumb enough
gonna be
not to
a
read
thing.
the small print, and their
Yeah.
lawyer's not going to go through the work. And
Right, yeah, that
you
was
know,
something that he was.
so, like, if people weren't such greasy, untrustworthy fucks in that arena, then maybe. But like, that's a slippery slope, I feel. But he might have a very valid point, and I could be talking out of my ass. I'm 26. The fuck do I know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing is then like with all like not all of his other stuff, but to when I stopped watching, I should say. But it was just like, well, what's your plan for this? He's like, well, Joe, I'm not saying it's a perfect plan. All right. I don't know all of it. All right. That's not me. I'm not that guy. We'll figure it out though. And it's like, no, but like if you're trying to be the governor of New York, you should have a plan. You should have a plan.
He's like, you think I just know what everybody's gonna want to be, and I'm gonna take and I have jobs for all these people and know exactly what to. It's like, what are you talking about?
And Joe straight said that. He was like, all right, because when he's talking about the bridge thing, he's like, that's a good idea. He's like, your education system idea is trash, but this is a good idea. Like he told that. He was like, you said it was crazy and said it was trash. He's like, that idea is crazy, but this is a good idea. It was like, okay, yeah, like.
Well, like, here's my thing. My personal belief on
It's
part of the
garbage.
education system is that
Clever man.
Matt, fix it.
Yeah, he did.
For now, let's see if it keeps going.
All right, so
Ric Flair woo.
no, my thing with education is I feel like teachers are bound by curriculum more than administration.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's been the main complaint from a lot of teachers as they teach a class is like, I'm sorry, I don't want you to have to do this. You don't want to have to do this, but it's part of the curriculum. So if I don't do this, I get fired. And then you go to college professors, and college professors have a lot more freedom and a lot more leeway, and they can work with their students a lot better. They can find out how they're going to teach better. They're not bound by that curriculum to keep driving the shit information that bores the kids to death. They can go another route in implementing the information that they need to have and still get their point across.
Yeah.
I feel like teachers should get a little more freedom the way professors in colleges do,
Yeah.
as far as like a little bit more.
He does
Maybe
talk
that's what he meant by
about that.
administration restructure.
I think, because he talks about SATs and stuff like that a
But
lot.
trying to say you're going to cut funding to education is garbage. Trying to say you're not going to give teachers more money for what they do when they're cultivating the future of
Yeah.
our youth.
So he
that's
doesn't want
trash.
to. To be clear, what he was saying, he doesn't want to cut funding for teachers. He's not cutting
No,
funding for
no.
teachers.
But he's saying just
He's
cut the
cutting
funding from the administration. But
right?
he, Michael
he's
said
cutting administrating completely. Like he's cutting down administration, giving them more money to spend towards teachers. Now, and the
he
the
wasn't
problem
saying he
with
was
Joe
giving
is
him more money. He was just saying that
no,
that they would
because you're
give more
taking
money.
you're taking jobs away from administration,
yeah.
and keeping the budget still the same.
Right.
Budget and everything
Yeah,
is
yeah.
still the same, but you're lowering the job rate of.
He wasn't
like,
giving them more
amount-
money.
Yeah, he's
It
not
was the
giving
same
them more
amount of money.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is like we have so many computer programs, so much more advanced in the way we're able to handle things than the way we were 20, 30 years ago. There's no excuse as to why teachers can't be getting paid more already. Okay, the efficiency of information being sent should have made teachers. The fact that there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of people sitting in an office with not shit to do all day, twiddling their thumbs for 6 hours, but they're there for the full 8 to collect a paycheck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Where the fuck is that
That's
money
not,
going?
that's not even in an office. I personally have friends where they're in a manufacturing job and they're literally sitting because manufacturers are not keeping up with like output to like give these people who do a very important job. It's important too for this job as it's a safety like caution, but their production is not fast enough to where these, I would say 30 people are sitting in an area just like, all right, well, where's our stuff?
Like,
And they get to like, they're still collecting a paycheck and it's a good amount too. It's not a low amount because it's a safety thing.
but there's a ripple effect when you do that to any preacher. So like, you're taking away a sense of purpose, and I think that's very core in a fundamental happiness. Like, all I do is lawn care, but my job is very demanding. I have to do it at the rate I do it as fast as I can. Right. Otherwise, I'm not getting paid because we're going to lose yards and we're not going to have satisfied customers. Now, I love that there's that constant drive on my job. I love that when it rains, fuck, now I got to put 2 days in one.
Right.
I like that. That moves me. And I've worked a lot of jobs that don't have that. That it's like, fuck, I could come in, I could not come in. You guys are going to do the same fucking thing with or without me. I feel it. That takes away from existence. It makes you hollow in a way.
Right.
I don't feel like anybody in this day and age with the technology at hand should have to feel hollow in their workplace. Yeah, not everybody's going to get to do a job they like. Not everybody's going to get to do their dream job. I'm not saying that. But I am saying, don't waste my fucking time and then justify it by saying, but I'm going to pay you to waste your fucking time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's craziness.
It takes away from the happy factor and like
lunacy.
It's
Like,
it's
a lot
more
of the depression
psychological
issues.
rather than
Yeah, I'm not going to
like yeah, you're getting a paycheck, but it's like is the paycheck like the money doesn't have a value to you and
Like
stuff
office
like that.
space.
Yeah, it's like you're saying that the capitalism, like the dollar is worth my happiness. You can't buy my happiness.
Right.
That sucks.
No, that's definitely I
I've
definitely
had a lot
think
of
that's
job
a very good point.
opportunities to where I could go work at Spirit or where I could go down to Case, but then I know I'm stuck in this metal building looking at the same spot every day. I can't listen to music. I have an asshole boss and these other jerks who are miserable. Their negativity is
And it drives
this company
crazy.
doesn't do this right, and this company
Yeah.
should be treating us better, and we should be getting better benefits. And I'm like, all you negative Nancys are fucking killing me, and I can't even put, Eminem in my ears to get you out of here.
Going crazy.
Yeah, so like, the sacrifice isn't worth the uptake in income for me, even though I really am in a position where I'd need more money.
And it's so hard to take that too.
I'm gonna be more patient where I am and work for the money in a place where I'm happy.
Definitely smart. Definitely smart.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
smarter. It's like those people where you find them and you're like, how could you do this forever? And it's like, well, I don't know if you've looked, but this person's really happy all the time. And granted, they might not make a lot, but it's like I could use. Nah, I don't.
Like office space.
Yeah,
I'm glad we got this back to working. What'd you do, Matt?
I lowered the bit rate. It just so happens your upload isn't dipping below 500 right now, and so 500 bit rate worked.
No.
Until it
But
dips.
we'll take it. We'll take it.
I mean, it's still gonna dip.
Right. But it's
You
better.
dip,
I
we
wanted
dip,
to.
I dip.
I wanted to elaborate because I tried to tell Justin this earlier, but moving the splitter would make it worse because you have noise hitting the frequencies that your modem is using for upstream, right?
Right.
So the better the signal is for the modem, the louder it talks to us. The louder it talks to us, the closer it gets to that noise,
Right.
the noise floor. So in reality, putting more splitters, like I was hitting that guy up to find something it's a little metal filter that I put on the back of your modem, and it tricks the modem into thinking there are actually 3 of those splitters. That gets you higher, ultimately increases your return, which gets you further away from the noise floor, ergo further away from the noise that could. How you fix intermittent.
Technology, bitches.
Yeah.
How you
Dropping
do that?
on you.
Didn't I say earlier that if you hung around Matt long enough, you would pick up a lot of useful information by
Good
proxy?
job, man. You want to see somebody embarrass themselves? Put me on a 0-turn mower and try and make shit.
Zero-turn mower.
Like that's.
Like that one guy. You fucking work this
I'd start
shit.
going and not even have the fucking blades on.
Oh, I did that. I got through like my dad didn't even tell me. One
through
time
half the
we were
yard.
mowing like
No, I didn't.
half the yard out in Towanda, and he has a pretty good decent amount of land, and he just like put me on there. He's like, go mow the lawn, and I was like, all right, and I was like going over, and I wasn't looking behind me or anything, but like I went through like 2 passes and I started like come around after I go around the yard already, and I get back and I was like, where's my line of like to like see where I mowed before? And I was like, what the hell's going on? So I like I kept going. I went around one more time. So I was like, maybe I mowed it. It's just too high, and this is like where he keeps it. And I like went around again, and my dad's just like looking, shaking his head. And I like drive over to him, and I stop the car, or not stop the car, but stop the mower. And like he's just like, are you gonna put, he's like, are you gonna put the blades down? I was like, I hate you.
Dad, this is a Fox body Mustang. It doesn't have any blades. But why isn't it cutting the grass?
See, the correct dad move would be to have you go through the whole lawn and be like,
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna mow.
I'm just dumb. I
were
recognized that. I could see. I was like, there are no cut line. There's just my wheel lines and the grass
Pulled
is
over to
pushed
him and
down.
was like, no, keep going. You've got this.
yeah.
Lawn's looking great,
The
son.
mower's really shitty. You got to run it over like 100 times to get a good cut.
Okay, that convinced me that I'm doing it right. Yeah. That would have been the way.
But that
to do
brings
it.
up a really good point, because you tried to invalidate your knowledge as if, like, you know, if you change fields, you're not as knowledgeable. But there's a lot of people that so judgmental in today's society. And I'm guilty of this, and I've been working on it. But like, I'll meet somebody and I'll be like, okay, you obviously know nothing about these few things that interest me.
You're dumb.
I'll consider you, well, not even dumb, just like I'll invalidate you as useful to know, which is a super stupid thing to do. But we do it at face value when we're meeting like associates, like strangers, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's super valuable to know people who know things and are interested in things that you don't know about and aren't interested in. Like Justin knows about like pop culture and like what's popular way quicker than I ever will. So it's super fucking awesome to know people like Justin, because when something comes into pop culture that I do consider cool as fuck, he's going to be the guy who tells me about it.
It helps you make
And, like,
conversation
nope,
with high
wrong.
schoolers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a Matthew McConaughey line from Dazed and Confused. No.
Sometimes that doesn't even work though. Sometimes Justin doesn't work with high schoolers. It's weird to think. I know. I had a whole thing happen one time with these 2 girls at IHOP. They were dumb. I called
Sounds
up Justin.
close to
I said,
something you shouldn't be saying on that.
no, this is. There's nothing.
They went back to my place. I called Justin.
Takashi 6ix9ine stuff in here or anything like that. But like yeah, I was like, oh man, they're like, oh yeah, we just got back from the club. Da da da. Like not like it was rodeo. It was like, you know, the 18 night or whatever.
Gotcha.
So it's like, all right, because clearly you're not 21. But they're like, oh yeah, blah blah. I'm like, oh, trying to talk to him because I was kind of feeling it. but like, so I'm like, okay, they're dumb, and like I've now dug myself into this hole.
Oh no!
Like,
what did I
maybe
get
Justin
myself
can get me
into?
out of here. Like he seems like he could probably relate to him, and we lived a couple blocks away at the time. So I'm like, hey Justin, come down to IHOP, please. There's these 2 girls here, and I feel like you could relate to them or whatever. You know, I'm like, here you go. I'm like, oh yeah, my buddy's gonna come because we're just meeting up here or whatever. That's why I'm here. Not true at all. But
It's a great way to
Good way to
segue
get out,
that, though.
Yeah.
Very
Very
graceful.
yeah, and
Nice tact.
so I was like, yeah, and he shows up and he's trying to talk to him, and they're just like, fucking nothing. Just everything he's saying, just nothing.
It's
Yeah.
like,
And
you
like-
heard this thing about this thing.
And so
they're
like he's like looking at me eventually. I'm just like, all right, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah. I'm like, I got nothing here, man. Like, I came with like my file case put, like here's my I'm his like lawyer, sat down, like, all right, so like your papers everywhere for everybody, and then it's like nothing? All right.
Yeah.
You set me up for failure here.
Yeah. We're gonna go. We can see ya. And we just left.
Get the fuck out of
There
here
are-
real quick.
It's not always just high schoolers, is what I was trying to
See,
say.
like I'm kind of a dick sometimes, because like in those situations where I meet somebody, and we'll go out of my way to let them know, because I feel like if I don't tell you how much of a fucking affront you've just caused, like
Yeah.
you're gonna do it to the next guy, and then I'm an asshole for just leaving this booby trap around, literal booby trap
Yeah, true.
scenario.
You can't
So
do that,
sure.
man. You can't do that. Why you gotta knock someone down just because it's not gonna
No,
point?
no,
You
no,
can't do
it's
that.
not knocking him down. Like
It's helping them out.
yeah, I have to help you help yourself. When I was 10 years old, I used to try and tell stories to adults. You ever listen to a 10-year-old tell a fucking
I think
story?
every 10-year-old does that.
Yeah.
Okay, but I was lucky enough that my mom was dating a guy who turned to me and was like, Clint, and what you're trying to say, other people know what you're trying on your storytelling.
Yeah.
Just that was like, fuck, he's not being a dick, but I need to go back and be introspective
Okay, but
for
if
a
you're talking
minute
to a
and figure
girl
out.
about that, like,
It doesn't
right.
matter if I'm not invested. It doesn't matter anymore.
Right. Okay.
If I'm about to leave IHOP, I can take a couple seconds out of my day to be like, hey, look, the reason we're walking away and aren't interested in you at all is because you're not interesting. And these topics right here were fucking terrible.
Right.
And it's awful that you didn't have anything to bring to the table in this conversation.
But say that person, because like you're losing interest and you leave, and that girl, like, it no longer becomes like she should. Like, you're saying it because you want her to help herself. Like, that's what you want, right? But the way it's going to come off to a girl is going to 100% be like, that guy's a dick, and I didn't listen to anything he said, not because of the fact. It's definitely just because tone and everything else is going to play into perspective in the way, like, if
you can
you're
be
leaving.
polite about it.
Right.
And usually I'm way more polite about it in the moment.
But if you're polite about it in that way, it's going to completely change the switch, and the way that you say it is going to change it, and 100% the current situation could turn from you were about to leave, but because you said something in a nice perspective, could change, and now no longer is she not going to be... Because she could have just been playing like a hard to get, or she could be playing dumb, but it's going to change to where she's going to be like, he's nice and he wants to help me. I could invest more time into talking to him. Hey, stay. And she'll say, hey, stay, because she's going to want to be like, I can change your mind on what you're thinking and probably about to leave.
Because I'm still going to leave.
See, and that's...
Because if I don't leave, it teaches her that she is interesting. And I'd very much want her to understand how disinterested I am at that point. Like, if I was going to leave to that point, if you push me that far where there's no way I can save this conversation or my interest, I'm going to be like, I'm only leaving. This is why. And look, you're not a bad person. Like, these are the reasons that I wasn't able to click with you.
And what you've just now encased a chase.
To click with somebody that's like me in the future, like, this is the things that I'm going to look for. Like in the other podcast where I was like, if a girl turns to me at any point during a date and says, are you smart or something?
Be unique from the chat, please.
Firing that bitch out of a window via cannon every time. Like, I can't do it. I can't handle it when you instead of trying to understand, you just willfully shove your ignorance in my face. I can't do that.
Don't ban him. I was joking. Don't ban him. It's
No, it's a very valid point.
Yeah, but no, I get what you're saying. And you've encased a chase then with a girl, and that's... Chase is always great. Like, you never... I think when you if you're interested in a girl, like, there should always be a little bit of tug and pull. Tug and pull is
definitely
great.
I'm very guilty of being like, oh, I'm interested in this girl. End up doing every time. You're pretty cute. Marry me. That's
actually a very common thing in our generation with relationships and stuff like that, because it's become more of like
so fickle.
We just become so dependent on company. Company is something that everybody holds so valuable, and not being alone, whether it be with a girl and in a relationship.
Hey, look, we found a controversial topic. You keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay. So like people have become so much more attached to like just being with somebody. Whether this, I think, I know where you're going with this. And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
Sorry.
It doesn't have to be like company, but it just like company in general. Like, your presence is here, and I feel better. Right. And then there is that people that are like, I'm attached to you. We need to talk all the time. We need to do this all the time. But like, it's just become like such a thing to have someone that you can always say is like there for you, and you, whether it be like talk, presence, or just like know that they're there and you can always talk to them. Talking's a bigger thing, I think.
Well, I don't know. Like, presence is important because like you can talk over phone for a certain period of time. I don't see your face personally. Harder to keep the schema of. I can see you in person.
Right, text or whatever, yeah.
Skype, like, that doesn't... I'm like, I've been single for quite a while now, and the majority of that time when I was single, I felt myself feeling less than whole because I didn't have a significant other.
Right.
That was an unhealthy feeling, and I knew that, and I was like, okay, I am now. Like,
learning independence is such a major factor just to life in general.
Right. Well, and I mean, like, but I've never been in a relationship that was long, 1.5, 2 years, you know. 6, that's worrisome. Plan on getting married or something. All right, I gotta figure
The people that marry later on in their years are actually happier.
Well, and that's
Because
that's
you're
kinda
more
what I'm
confirmed
looking
on the
forward
relationship
to.
sticking rather than like, I'm learning what everything is. You're not interesting enough. I'm going to go over here.
You get that statistic told to you where it's like the prefrontal cortex of a man between the age of 25 to 27. Prefrontal cortex is the front part of your lobe, organizes information, helps you like thoughts better. You notice that a lot of people that are across their fully developed, what they want, where they want to be. So I feel like once I'm like 30 to 35, I'll be able to meet a lot of people that know more about themselves and have a little bit more interest. Have relationships of aren't just, I don't want to be alone while I'm figuring everything out. Like, I don't need that shit. So, I've gotten very comfortable on my own, and I invest my time right now. I feel very productive where it's not as big of a deal anymore. But also have the libido of a 26-year-old. Sometimes my dick gets in. Not good.
I'd say that when you're questioning how long your longest relationships, it's not necessarily a problem. Since I was 18, if I cancel all the shit out before 18, I've had 2 relationships. First one was 5.5 years. This one's 6.5 years. First one should never have happened. That was just that was dragging a corpse for 5.5 years. This next one's great, but with that being said, I don't think there's like a status quo or a perfect mold. So I'm just saying, as one friend or another guy, like there really is no reason to doubt that. If you're capable of being independent, focusing on your own shit, that's what whoever you haven't met that person yet, that's what they're gonna look for. Somebody that's got their shit tied down good, easy way to merge in there and just make a team effort.
Right. Well, that's fair because like been very good about one case, but
Make it personal.
For the most part, like the women I've dated, when I notice the red flags, I acknowledge them and I get the fuck out of it. All right, obviously, I dated this one girl. I'm not gonna name names, but like 3 weeks into the relationship, she starts trying to tell me that she can see elves and she has a pet dragon that sits on her shoulder. I don't start buying into this shit that she's a witch and believes in Loki and all this other crazy batshit shit.
Definitely a doorbuster.
That was wearing pillow pants, right?
Oh man, she just like busts all, like we're on a walk near her house and she starts dropping these goddamn bombs on me, and the whole damn walk I'm like, holy shit, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Really
that's when you try to be nice and you're like,
I turn to her and I'm like, hey, I don't believe, like I can't see elves in that field. I don't believe you have a pet dragon. She starts getting upset and I was like, maybe we shouldn't be like, she could see that's where I was going with the conversation. She starts interrupting me and talking over me and would not let me finish breaking up with her to save my life.
I break up with you first.
Yeah.
No. Wouldn't even let me, like, she didn't want to break up with me. She just didn't want me to get done breaking up with her in that conversation and went full psycho.
If you don't finish it, then you're still together.
So we're sitting next to each other at this park because she won't let me talk at all. And I text her. I'm like, I'm breaking up with you. This is over. And then she's like, you're breaking up with me over a text message? And I'm like, because I can't get a word in edgewise. And
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, God.
That's where breaking up over text is okay.
Hey, how does that work?
You're sitting next to her?
Does that count as breaking? Yeah, when you're sitting right next to the person. You were already talking to him at some point. You're clearly like, right, you're just like, I'm breaking up with you. Breaking up with me over text. It's like, in person, though.
I wish I would have been calm enough to pull that on her.
Yeah, like, come on.
I was not. I was terrified. I thought she was going to, like, stab me with her boot knife or something.
That's still the super douche move. What you got to do is you got to call her while you're sitting right next to her. Then tell her you're breaking up. Why are you calling me? Just answer it. Why are you? We're sitting right.
It'll be funny.
Answer it.
It'll be funny.
Hey, whatever. I'm breaking up with you. Bye.
Oh my
I
god.
should have tricked her into giving me her phone, and then I should have chucked it into a field, and when she went to go get it, sent her the text message
and then ran.
That would have been the smart move.
Best thing I think I
planted the bomb right next to myself and then clicked the button, and that was not smart.
Best thing I had about like avoiding a girl, like best point I had was like we went to a park and like I was definitely just like there because my friend was talking to a girl and her friend was with her, like bring your friend, and so I was like, okay. that's like where that was. Right. And then so I go and we're all like hanging around this park and like I get there and I was like, damn, she's not me. No. And so I just like kind of tried to avoid her like at all times. And we're like on the playground. She's like they're off walking and doing their thing, probably gonna like make out and stuff like that. And then she's like coming and like following me on the playground. I'm just like trying to talk to her and like go over obstacles and making her like follow me through these obstacles.
She did it like a champ.
Yeah, she did. She really did. She was like, "Come here."
Parkour.
Like,
She was going through boot camp the whole time.
If you keep up with me long enough, you'll be super attractive, and then I'll be okay.
So like you know those
If I can get her to run her face into enough bars and then lose enough weight on the way to me,
We get to this
maybe,
tube.
just
We get to this
fucking
tube.
maybe we can turn this 4 into a 7.
we get to this tube that like you know as that like you crawl through the tube and then like get to the other part. So we're in this tube and she's like in the tube and like she's like turn around and I'm like get in there and I'm big enough to where like my foot gets stuck and it's like above me and she's like looking and she's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, my foot is just and it flies out and she's looking at me and my foot just boom hits her right in the fucking face like mid nose and she like falls back. I'm like, ah shit.
She looked better afterwards, right?
I was like, ah shit. And she's like,
She stood up and I was like, oh my god,
I
it's
was like,
Owen
are you
Wilson.
okay? She's like got a bloody nose and everything. She's like, I just need to go. And I was like, well.
That's how you do it. That's how you
Just
do
a
it.
pro
Kick her in
tip:
the
if you
face.
have an ugly bitch following you around, just kick her in the face.
Yeah, always works. 90% of the time.
I mean, like,
10% she's turned on.
Would not recommend for the kids at home. That's it.
Not try that.
I hate. Yeah, that's definitely a domestic charge. Holler at Joe Budden. Yeah. But no, if
They came back like, what was happening? I was like, I kicked her in the face. They're like, why? And I was like, well, it was on purpose.
But she did just follow me around.
Dude, she really did. She followed me like on my tail too. It was like at one point it was like, do I take the little and then do I throw it back for her sake or do I just keep it on my
definitely
side?
felt like chum in front of a piranha for a minute. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah, it was pretty good though.
Like, I don't know. Scary for men to approach women now. And like, I'm a masculine guy, and I respect women on probably not perceivable via this conversation, but like,
Yeah.
you know,
Kick her in the face.
turn her from a 4 to a 7, hit her ass with some bars. No, but like when
I got decreased
I
ranks
feel
if
like
I
it's
kick her in the
weird
face.
now,
It goes
'cause
from like a 3 to a 1.
I'm old school and I grew up around my grandpa, and I feel like I'm supposed to walk up to a pretty woman, hey, could I take you out to dinner sometime? And with like this Justice Warrior era and all this things, like a million booby traps out there, and I'm gonna walk up and be like, could I take you out to dinner? It's like, why do you have to take me out to dinner? Why can't we just go to dinner? And I'm like, fuck, never mind. You know, and I can't have that cynicism stop me from talking to women, but at the same time, it does.
Yeah.
I think though that
Gotta
as you
download
get older,
Tinder.
that's gonna disappear. At least in my
I think
experience,
it's waning.
women my
just
age and some
being-
years above me, like they don't give a crap about that. A lot of them convert.
They ran out of money.
The energy, that, but just the energy it takes.
No,
like,
for sure.
It's just like I don't want to be a social warrior. Like I just want to
Right.
live my life. I'm tired of being alone. Like
I was gonna
clearly that
say-
didn't work out for the other 3 guys I dated. So
I think that's the other thing about people that get married later in life, their marriages work out more because you realize, like, I'm not going to go looking for this perfect person out there. I'm going to make what I have work.
Like, I
So it's
definitely,
No,
I don't want a woman to be perfectly attractive to me. It's like, I work really hard to be in shape. I
Yeah.
work my ass off at work, and I work out at home. You know,
I do the first part.
and like,
I actually eat
And
when
then
I'm
I
at
eat
work.
It's like,
Dude,
like,
working out.
I work on my mind, and I try to be a better person on a regular
Yeah.
basis, and I want that in my significant other. I don't know. Where's the line of asking too much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And where's
It's
the
up to
line of
you.
settling?
Really up to you.
How long are you willing to wait and sift through all of this, yourself, and for that? Which, I mean, really, you should probably like wait for. There's got to be somebody at some point like this is either really close to like what I wanted, or like this is it, or whatever, or like I can definitely see myself being able to live time forever. But like, you're gonna have to sift through a lot of people.
Well, and I feel like when I find somebody that I'm attracted to in that way, they have to want me too.
Right? Yeah. This isn't.
So like
never
that's the
mind.
big
Yeah.
thing is like I just need to because that'll be a very obvious thing. Hopefully, fucking oblivious
Yeah.
that I'm into is into me.
Right. Or you're both just so
That
scared to
typically
talk to
happens,
each other.
though.
It's like,
I feel like I'm somewhat perceptive.
Yeah, but then if you're perceptive
But
of that
most of the time,
vibe,
like the chick that's into me
yeah. Then it's real obvious.
has usually been my option.
Because it's like, oh God, like you're like, please don't. Oh nope, yeah, she's
Because if
giving me
you
those
value
eyes.
her, you're
oh.
like, oh, there's no way she'd be into me.
Yeah,
Like, that
exactly.
kind of
Yeah, it's
mentality
like
takes
the whole,
over.
being
like-
that third party person, it's way easier to see like clearly that person's in you.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's like no, for real. Like I'm looking at you both, very clear this is gonna happen. But then those two people are like, you're wrong.
but every like there thousands upon thousands of sexual harassment lawsuits at work is because that dude was sitting at his desk and some beautiful girl gave him a coffee and she's like, oh yeah, she wants the dick, and then
fair.
they go for it, and
wants
then
the dick.
and then yeah,
Coffee is
so
dick.
that's the problem with perception is like there's like the girl I'm with now, we worked together when I was dating.
That cappuccino in,
And-
it was like game over.
But no, but I was in her before I was even single, and I'm not that guy. I wouldn't. There was no
right.
move made, but it was still like, damn,
But if you're
only
attracted
if.
to somebody, you
Yeah,
are.
only because we talked. There was a connection, all that, but she was oblivious to the fact that I had already like placed a target on her back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the whole time, no idea. Even though like
You
her.
gave her a tattoo that was a tramp stamp, and she had no idea.
Yeah, no idea at all. But
But
the
you're sneaky and a good tattoo.
yeah,
artist.
apparently. But that's just kind of it. And then, at least on the note of like talking, I had to move back to Kansas City. We we kept in contact for. I wanted to get turned out to have. So
Shout out.
but I think that's the thing is like because we had a chance to work together, which is awkward enough. But then you talk after that, and you're like, okay, you're not. Online, people are pretty like, I have nothing to
it's like-
lose.
you're
Like,
like,
what
I
happens if this
feel-
guy
Yeah.
just fucking stops talking to me? I don't give a shit.
Right.
But it just, I don't know. That's kind of where I stand on that. Is just if you just talk to people long enough and you can, start uncovering all that emotional baggage and shit that's happening. It's like,
I'm
okay,
so straightforward because I think a girl's attracted to Colorado.
I am. Oh, I don't say it that way though.
But I don't assume anything, and I'm not the guy who's like, oh yeah, she wants the dick. Like, if I'm ever that guy, somebody needs to fucking punch me in the dick.
There are
I got
loads
one
of
of my
guys
longest
like that, though.
relationships. The first thing I said to her was, "My penis finds you attractive," and then we dated for 2.5 years.
All right.
classy line,
yeah,
classy line.
Well, his line before
was
that,
in-
and
that was in
ever
high-
since
that
like
was in
middle
high
school,
school,
was
though, right?
how's life?
that
works.
which I still use.
Yeah, no, it definitely works. All right. And then we gotta go because I have to work it.
Okay.
Trying to wrap up because I want to play Spider-Man. It's already 12:30.
Yeah, we could be trying to play
Yeah,
Spider-Man. For sure.
You.
Remember now.
Oh.
Especially about D&D. If you
Been nice. Been real, but it hasn't been real nice.
oh, base.
Right?
Kyle,
2
are you
months
still
out for you
here?
would be those two.
Good man. You're good.
Probably won't go too
I
much
mean,
longer.
talking about
Yeah, Kyle's
women with
still
red
here.
flags isn't exactly.
Oh yeah.
Not everyone can
Yeah,
relate
yeah.
to.
So here, let's. Dude, yeah, no, the limited time mode is fucking sick, Kyle. Have you played it yet? Because I fucking love it, and I actually
All three played it.
we all played it. We needed a fourth. We needed you.
The mode we played earlier?
Fortnite mode, yeah. We'll talk about Fortnite here in a second if we want to, but Justin could start up the thing. You haven't played it yet? Oh my god, dude, it's so fun. I love it, right?
It is fun.
I mean, I love it. I don't have to ask you if I
breaks,
love it. I love
it breaks the fucking linear mold
Yeah,
of everyone
exactly.
be the last one
Yeah,
standing.
now you can have like 4 teams of people win. But the way you do it, it's Money in the Bank from WWE, but a BR version. It's fucking sweet.
What?
You already downloaded it. If you start the install, that shouldn't matter.
No, installs just use
Yeah.
the CPU.
Yeah, you should be fine. Oh, that's right. I know. I don't remember that. Hey, did you ever get that guy fired, Kyle? Because fuck that guy.
Oh, dude, you're on painkillers? That's great. I love painkillers.
Right. Damn it. No. I really gotta pee, and so like when I pee, I was hoping I could talk, and then when I pee, you could tell them about the stuff. So that when I come back, we'd be like, "Oh, hey, we can talk, we
Yeah.
can talk about the
We don't have
Fortnite
to
thing
listen
for
to
a
Matt
second."
explain that for the 20th
Yeah,
time.
so it's great. All right, there you go. Oh, better fucking. Hey, remember when I bought you that Red Bull like an hour and a half ago? I'm gonna go pee. If you want to tell them about the stuff. Nah, fuck that guy, Kyle. I don't know that guy's name or which store you're at, but fuck that guy. That was
Are you
it
going
was
to
just
get
fucking ridiculous.
McDonald's?
Like whatever. Hey, Matt will explain to you.
Not going to be a 6-pack. It'll be like a 12. Not even
On
be
the
32
record,
if
I
I'm
owe
feeling
Michael
generous.
some beer anyway,
Yeah.
so.
Is it 24? I used to get 32 packs for beer pong. Oh, is it 30? Oh, 30? Okay. It's been a while since I've had to go buy a 30-pack of beer. I just added 2 for optimism.
Isn't it weird when alcoholics get judgy when you're buying them alcohol?
Yeah, it's...
Not calling Michael an alcoholic, I'm just saying that kind of shit happens sometimes and it's weird.
It is a little weird.
Alex already has it. He's in the car.
Oh, no, I need on the McDouble. You're the man. Kyle, I don't know if you can still hear me, and you're not going to find this interesting at all, probably, but yes, there is a node. It holds several hundred, 300 to 400 houses. Bad wiring in the neighborhood creates noise. That noise traverses back through the main line, through every main line splitter. If it's strong enough, it'll make it back to the node, and that noise does land on the frequencies the modem uses to return data, in this case upstream, in this case the stream, and that's what causes drop frames and packet loss. So that is the problem with the noise. And you mentioned, well, they're not going to fix it unless you call them every day. Not true. The problem is the noise isn't always there. Their noise seems to only show up in the evening when there are no outage techs working except for third shift, and they're typically working construction tickets, and if this doesn't create an actual outage, then it's considered preventative maintenance, and they're not going to take time to come out and fix that. That help? You just Miyagi that moth? Dude,
Hulk smash Clapton.
like that was a fucking
and he was just
concussion
completely
grenade, man.
disoriented by it.
Actually, Kyle, I made a YouTube video about it.
Segue into D&D?
Wouldn't
Kyle's still asking
rewiring help
questions.
some of the noise? Yes, it would, but the problem is, for a field network technician, the bucket truck guys, to find the noise, they have to go block by block from the start of the node, testing different legs to figure out which house the noise is coming from. If they don't answer their door, they will, and the noise is bad enough to create an outage, they will terminate their line and cut them off. If they are home, they'll try and fix it. But the problem is this noise is only impacting upload. It's not impacting download. Their download's fine. It's not getting any packet loss. The only people that use upload are Twitch streamers. So that's not something that's going to land on their desk as a priority. Before Twitch was even a thing, this existed all the time and it was never noticeable, so there was never a problem. Twitch has created a lot of really interesting appointments in my line of work.
You just go, like you just find, it's like, oh, you're a streamer.
Well, no, they're like, I'm having problems with my internet. That's all I put in the notes, and then I get there, and they're like, yeah, I'm having issues with this project I do, and I'm like, do you stream on Twitch? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you could have just said that. Oh, it's
AT&T, but
AT&T does not have the noise problem, but they have a single pair of wiring going from their, we'll call it a node, to the house. And based on distance means slower internet, so upload of 5 megabits or so is probably a bit testy for them. Plus, if there's a short in the wiring, they will never really fix that because that means they have to replace the wire that goes for blocks. So they typically just splice it or patchwork. About it, so it's not really ideal.
yeah, so it's kind of like, you know,
I had an outage tech come out and clean this node up, but the problem is it keeps happening at night, so when they look at the logs and like, holy crap, this was just shitty at 9 p.m. onward, then they come out here and they pull up the node and it's clean, the noise is gone, they can't find where it's coming from. So it's just one of those hit or miss things.
It has to be like actively doing it.
Well, it has to create an outage. If it creates an outage, your internet just flat out dies. Then that guy has to come out and he will find it.
Right.
So is there a way to make an artificial outage to create your problem being worthy enough to be solved?
Ethically, no.
Not obviously.
ethics.
We're talking about fuck the ethics.
I mean,
here.
it can't.
Not saying you should or would
Here's
do
the
that.
problem, though. If you did that, they would. The noise coming from here would be so bad that they'd come and realize it's from here and they'd fix it.
No, fuck that. You don't shit in your own bed. You use somebody else's source to fuck it up on the same grid.
Well, altering a cable network is a felony. So if they
I'm not advocating doing
Right,
it.
I
I'm
know.
just
In
asking
a
if it's
hypothetical
possible.
world, we go down
it
to
is
the
possible, yes.
we go to the library that's a few blocks away, and
listen all their connections and install like RG59.
Unethical dirty bird, and you want to do. Other than that, you're fuck diddly ucked, and that's.
Okay, Kyle, you're.
Sorry, this
I don't know
talk
if-
is killing my butt.
yeah.
Kyle, you said, well,
Making my
ethically,
dick
there's no way to reason to not taking care of a customer's issue. Kyle, you have to understand the customer's issue at this point is intermittent. It can't constantly be tracked. So technicians themselves can't fix a problem they can't see. They fall into the same category as car mechanics. If the car shows up and it's not making that knocking sound anywhere, they're not really admissible to take the whole fucking car apart and spend a whole bunch of time on something if they can't charge the customer for it. So in any cable company's business model, if it's not an active problem, they can't find an active solution. That's the problem. It's just it's a needle in the haystack problem that only happens when none of the outage technicians are working.
Like when you're borrowing your dad's trimmer, and when you're using it, it shits out on you 3 times, and you're like, Dad, the trimmer's acting like a piece of shit. And then he goes out and starts right up, and he trims the whole fucking yard with it, and there's not a goddamn problem. Dad's not fixing the trimmer. You're fucked.
So it's
I get it.
that's all it is, Kyle. I'm really not trying to play the company man card here, but
Right. Yeah. I mean, that is.
well, Kyle, I mean,
It's just the way
I
it
get the argument here, buddy,
is.
but the other thing is legally in all terms of service or EULA that they have, any cable company, they, in that agreement, for any speed, it says up to a certain margin. There are
Right.
no guaranteed speeds, so they're fine charging him for what
Like,
they do.
yeah, it's all like, well, you signed the contract kind of stuff.
Plus,
It's like,
also,
but you have to sign the contract to get any kind of service. So it's like, well,
Right.
fuck.
Plus, Twitch streamers that receive donations or anything else, in that terms of service for residential services, it also says that when you use these services, you will not be able to use them for profit. And by
First
receiving any
world
form of
problem.
donation or streaming on Twitch to try and create a business model, that's breaking terms of service, which if the internet provider found out about that, they could force him to get a business account, which is far more expensive. So,
We have had a business account at the last place we had because it was like the only way faster speeds because upload. Like
Yeah.
we need the thing, so we got like a business, and like they showed up to them, they're like, "Why?" Well, it's just weird because what you're. I'm looking at my tablet here, and this speed is. And it's like, yeah, we've already gone through it with them. We know how much it costs. Just hooked up. And he's like, okay. We'd have plenty of everything. It was like, hopefully, because we were both streaming at the time or trying to. Like,
did that work? Was it here or somewhere else?
no, it wasn't here. It wasn't here. That's like, it's like this neighborhood, right? Like, it's this node that's just like a problem. Because when I lived with my mom at her apartment, it wasn't that big of a problem.
Oh, do you even know that upload is used for streaming and not download?
Oh, he's a streamer.
Well, when he says he has to gross greater than a certain amount, that's also not true.
Well, I mean, I was just being the
But
contract.
when you say a certain amount, I think your upload. What's your internet tier? They just
Every time his internet. Here, Jimmy Jones, it is.
you have ultimate here or preferred?
$80 one a month or some shit.
preferred? So his maximum upload is 5 megabits per second. That's
Sounds
it.
low, but maybe. What's 100? We're supposed to have 100 down
So it's 10.
and up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And
so
right now,
that's-
what it's doing is it's fluctuating between 300 kilobytes and 3,000, and it's just dipping, and that's because of that noise.
kilobytes. Actually, in kilobytes.
Well, in bitrate terms, you
Okay,
are. It's 3 to 10 megabytes.
Like you said, getting that filter that tricks it.
It really just quiets it. Like the problem is his connection's so good that it picks up noise more. So that pad, it doesn't impact how strong the signal is coming in, but it cools it down coming out. That's the whole point of the return pad.
Sound bending surfaces in the room would probably help.
Well, not like actual noise though.
Well, no, but I mean, this is
Megabits, sure, not storage speed.
altogether.
Yeah.
You had like a tablecloth and maybe like a
Something. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that's the problem with that one though. It's just more that we all get like really into whatever we're saying, and then we start yelling. We have all these mics right here, yeah, and this one in particular that's like meant to pick up a room, so it's very sensitive with all that. And he's like, "Oh, like I'm doing my job right." And it's like, "Stop! Like, don't do your job so good." That's why we tried to put like a little barrier between it one time, and it didn't. No. Yeah.
Do I know Kyle? He's not a local?
No, he lives in Kentucky.
Oh, okay. That's it. Like we can paint it however we want, but the ISP's not technically in the wrong. Their hands are kind of tied because the issue's brought on like other customers. That's the thing. It's not even it's not even the ISP's main line that's
the only
causing
thing
it.
that really bugs me is when it's like, all right, like I'm paying for this service. I mean, I get because it's like all in the contract or whatever. It's like I'm paying for your service and I'm not getting what I was like told I was gonna get. And so it's like, all right, could you send somebody out? And then I have to pay to send somebody out too. When it's
you
like,
shouldn't have to pay for it. Have they billed you for it?
They have before, yeah.
Really?
It's like $25 to have a tech come out.
75.
Maybe it was 75. I don't know, but
yeah, its service charge is $75.
It's like, yeah. So it was like, I shouldn't pay. Like I was like, I shouldn't have to pay this because I'm already paying for a service that I'm not getting. Like you should just be trying to fix the service, and I'm cool with continuing paying for the service, but I just want it to be the one that I like agreed. Like I don't want to be paying for something, like I don't want to be paying $100 a month.
You can't use it the way you want. Like
yeah,
I
don't want to pay
$100
$100 a month for something that I could have got for $40 a month.
I guess because this is a conversation I have about once a week with anybody that has no rapport with me or knows who I am, and I'm just the guy that they're liaison to the company, so they don't respect me to begin with.
Right.
But it's like my big thing is like any cable company in the country's biggest thing right now is retaining customers because there's too many options and too many different companies to switch. They don't gain anything from your service not working the way they want. The problem is with all the other things, because the biggest problem is noise is worked. Just clarification, noise is worked when there's downtime, especially noise that's only impacting upstream, which barely anyone notices, which is your problem.
Right. Yeah.
And if they're working that and they're trying to find it when it's actively happening, then all of a sudden there's an outage in Cheney. Guess where that guy's going for the next 3 hours?
Yeah.
And he comes back and your noise is gone. And they get off at 5 o'clock.
Right. No.
And third shift guy is going around fixing outages around everywhere from McPherson to Cheney to Derby to Benton, Rose Hill. So they can't come out here to try and find something because this is it is a severe problem for you. But in the world of the cable company services and all the things floating around, it is very marginal to them.
Yeah,
that's the problem that we have. And that's why I've been calling outage techs to be like, yo, dude, you need to go down there because I bullshit. I'm like, I've got like 10 friends that live down there that are saying there's some serious problems.
Yeah.
I just gave them this area. So they're trying to find it. But every time I call them now, they're like, it's not happening right now. I know it's clear.
Yeah, you just keep calling, hey, man.
So
it's just, I just shitty the fact that like, oh yeah, I mean, it would be nice if it was prioritized. I mean, eventually you would imagine it gets prioritized over time if enough people like started streaming or started using upload or whatever. But until more calls come in, but it's shitty the fact that it takes like somebody who's in the place to just call, like not even the office. You're like calling your actual buddies that you know in the field, like, hey man, could you check this out? And like if I call up there, it's like, hey, like this is going on. They're like, well, yeah. Either they'll be like, well, I don't see anything going on right now.
Is there any way to check good or check how good your upload would be?
Not until they actually go out there to do the install.
Yeah.
And don't
you have to fully invest in moving somewhere. You're like to find out that kind of information.
Yeah. And
after that,
I mean, you could ask the neighbors, I guess. Like hopefully they're use upload. And you're like, hey, how's the internet? Door
to door, be like, do you upload stream? Yeah. Because we're thinking about moving into your neighborhood, and we upload stream.
When's the last time you
I
had
need to
know. I'm sorry. When's the last time you had a guy out here?
Guy out here, I don't know, because now I'm just like, yeah. Anytime that they're like, yeah, you want us to send a tech, I'm like, no, I don't want you to send a tech, because then I have to pay for it. Like,
Okay, so
been whenever we got it switched from AT&T to Cox's, I think the last time we had a guy out here.
when they installed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so your install's fine, your wiring's fine. The big thing.
Surprisingly.
The big thing, I already looked at it when I showed up.
Yeah.
The
I
big
just
thing
think
that you need to do is if you have, it's called a trouble call. It's an appointment. You set that up. They'll come out here. They're not going to find anything wrong because I pulled up your modem configuration where you're having problems when I was sitting over here being quiet. Your signal levels are fine. They're great. They're not going to be able to do anything at that moment. But when one of my metrics is after I leave your house, the goal is you don't need another cable guy out here for 30 days or more. Problem. You're going to have another. You have a second guy out that hits a report on every supervisor's desk in the region. Well, yeah, in the region. And they print that report out and it's sent to my email every morning to see who has repeats. Because it may not be the same technician.
Okay.
They'll come out and say, okay, it's a repeat. When it's a repeat, they have management they have to answer to. Why they're out there, what was missed. That gets things rolling. That's where that priority comes in. That's how the gears work with this system. And then
I wish somebody else would have told me this by now.
Call center. When I worked in the call center, I had no idea. They don't tell you.
Yeah, that's what
because then they tell the customer, and the customer's calling several times to try and get
right.
that.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean,
you do it if it's not fixed, then do it a third time. Because here's the only time you should be billed for us coming out is if it's an internal wiring issue with you, or it's a customer education scenario. So like I show up, you're saying your TV's not working, your TV's off.
Yeah.
If it's our equipment, our main line, things like that, not bill you for that. If we do, it's an error. It's easily disputable. They'll gladly credit that off your bill.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's the only thing. So if you got some days off, just be like, hey. Also, they can put in an escalation form. I would tell them to submit that as well. He's on the opposite side of the fence here, so I need to see what he said.
Well, no, this was kind of not. Well, maybe the first one where he said probably reason with them saying when were the lines most recently run, and then the second one was.
How would you know when were the lines most recently run? The interior wiring is far more of a critical component in a house as opposed to the plant line and the drop line outside. Environment conductive to corrosion. Most cabling has dielectric, especially underground cabling in compounds to protect it against water. I mean, if you really want to know, is this going to be a good place for me to have service at? Take the wall plate off. If the wire's really thin, it's RG59. It hasn't been used commercially in 12 to 15 years, and it's 12 to 15 years old.
Yeah.
Not going to be a good wire. Probably going to have to be replaced. Probably has noise on it. If the fittings look like they were bought at Lowe's for 10 cents, probably not good because you can pull them right off. That's where the noise comes from, is all these wires that were ran during analog days when none of this shit mattered, and it was just
right.
As long as we can get it from A to B, it doesn't have to go back to us. Just A to B, no snow, golden.
Yeah.
Shitty fittings galore everywhere. And you live in an older part of town with a lot of old houses that were built in the 50s and onward that are filled with old shitty wiring.
Right.
That tested fine when we did the install 12 years ago, and it went bad, and their stuff's not breaking, so they're not calling us. Because every house I go to that's not a, we off call, I'm required to climb the telephone pole or go to the pedestal, and I put my meter, $1,000 meter down, all the wire feeding the house to one port, and then the main line to the other, and it tests the house for noise, 30 seconds, and catch any spike, and we only test the return frequencies. Test all of the main lines frequencies and all of the DOCSIS the internet.
Yeah.
Good, man. Nice seeing you.
Yeah. Nice having you again.
Anyway,
you'll be back on.
This is the Cable Guy
Real
podcast.
Later, man. This is Clint.
Have a
When
good
are you
one,
guys
bud.
starting your podcast? Did you ever figure out a name? Yeah. All right.
I'll drop it to you.
Oh, it's in there.
Podcast. That's. Al says kisses.
Thank you. I've been so hungry.
Yeah, I know. I got some stuff too. Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
be
make
hungry
doubles?
later.
Yeah, so it's
You
not
can
bad.
have
I
to-
kind of got a little deep into it.
Yeah, I did not say no onion.
Make them. Just make them. Let me eat your. Now we got to switch to social eating
Social
again.
eating.
That was so funny that night we did that. Yeah, we left,
Broke more of your fucking bowl.
left to go get food, came back, and then it was like, well, it's not a talk show anymore.
I'm trying to play Spider-Man though.
Yeah, I kind of feel you. Do we know how to try to stream? Stream still buffering and stuff a lot. Probably,
I promise
maybe.
you it won't support.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, we were gonna try to stream it and just all tonight in one run, but yeah, we're still gonna try to do that for sure. I'll let you know how it was. Hey, I already drank my energy drink though, so I'm kind of. I was like, whatever. They don't have red line anymore in Quick Trip. Oh, pissed.
Kill somebody?
Gonna die. Sure, it killed somebody, but now someone's gonna die because they don't have it. Oh. We're gonna try to stream Spider-Man. Yeah, it's at 500 bit rate right now. It is weird sometimes it just like stops, but even if like the ideal scenario that it didn't buffer constantly for like even an hour, that's like an hour. You're gonna get an hour deep into it, like, all right, cool. And we're fucking up again. It's like, fuck, and you don't know how long it's gonna be. Battlefield 5 beta. Justin was playing a bunch of that last night. Enjoyed it too, but I enjoyed even more than that was Fortnite's new fucking time mode. It was super fun, and we'll totally got it. Well, wait, have to be later for me because I'm get off work at like 3, right? Something like that. 3, and I go to work at like I gotta be there at 5:45 tomorrow. I can be on for like a couple hours, then I can come be on later in the night. It depends how long we stay up playing Spider-Man. If if we beat the game tonight, and it looks like there's a lot of side stuff, so no, I might be getting some of those fucking old Vietnam MREs. Friendly, amazing, or yeah, no. Where did that come from? Got to be amazing, right? You don't go friendly. That's too easy. Amazing. You're going spectacular. I mean, yeah, that sounds good, Kyle. Trust me, it is a lot of fun. I think so. The grappling hook, super cool.
I haven't used it yet.
Dude, oh my god, that I already had I wish I was streaming because the highlight there was like they were fighting a team because it gets there's a lot of teams coming at you because you get to have the special thing is on the map. They're fighting this team. I like sneaky leaky go around them with the grappling hook and a golden rocket launcher, and it's like whoop, fucking go up. They have a porta-fort. I grab the edge of the porta-fort with a grappling hook, shoot up above them, and then shoot the rocket at him and like down a dude. And then I end up killing the other guy too. My God, that was so cool. Animation that they added for the grappling hook when you shoot it, and when you get to the edge, and your guy gets punches himself. Or he does this like anime-esque action pose. And it feels awesome. Dude, yeah, it's great. I love the grappling hook. I didn't even see. I wish I saw Likondu doing some stuff. I gotta watch Twiz do some stuff too.
How many of you
But
guys were
anyway,
planning on using?
thanks for stopping in, man. But for now, been Help Us Podcast, episode 8. Thanks for coming in. Drop us a like, follow on Twitch, follow on Twitter, sub on Twitch. That helps too. Whatever. Catch us. Are you gonna normally be able to do later podcasts on Thursday? So, because we'll probably switch our time from Central Standard Time scheduling.
You want to follow because these guys seem to have random podcasts throughout the week.
But yeah, we do random. Yeah, go ahead and follow because we do random streams throughout the week for the podcast and whatnot, or not so sweet some gameplay of Fortnite or other Spider-Man in the future. Audio issue. Oh, I feel like it's a lot of the same stuff. Sometimes it's people not talking loud enough or whatnot, or it gets too loud. But yeah, we're all figuring this stuff out. Find your Discord, try to work it out. Definitely. Well, it's tough to do without everybody here talking at the same time. That's like I'm using the mic that I usually use to talk to you now. But is that McDonald's? No. This is Blandburger until they decide to pay us for anything.
Yeah. Hamburger helper on a bun.
But anyway, wrapping it up. Helpless Podcast episode 8. Wad's coming up tomorrow of this. Good one. That was pretty much it, right? Hit everything? Did I hit everything?
I think that's good. Yeah.
All right. Zip it up and zip it out.